Hey man, our dusty ass fucking equipment.
Yo. All right. Well, that's an intro. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Hey.
We got Darek and Talena with us. The Lifetime Restoration. Do you guys own it together, or are you guys is Derek you the owner, or
No, we both own it.
What's yours is hers, or
To be, right? To be?
Oh.
What's yours is hers?
In 4 weeks. No, we both own Lifetime Restoration, and then we have Lifetime Adjusting. So we do insurance claims restoration, and then we have an insurance claims company that handles all the claims, and then another one that restores all the work. And then we also do heating and cooling.
I seen that you just started that up, right? Just recently?
it's been like a year almost, no?
No, and this January.
Yeah. Well,
So about 5 months. So
Yeah, we're already in May.
yeah, bro, it's flying.
True.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
almost that full.
I saw you. I'm like, did your heater go out? And you decided, hey, I'm just opening up a business, or what?
No, so I figured out another niche in the company that insurance carriers will pay for all AC units. And then I was using a sub before, and it just wasn't good. And I was like, fuck that, I'm just going to open up my own and do all the work myself. Well, it's me and my buddy that does HVAC, my brother's wife's brother.
Oh, okay.
Monica Chison's brother.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so he's been doing HVAC, and he's really good at what he does. So we started doing all heating and cooling.
Oh, that's cool.
services.
No, that's
really
good.
Hey,
Yeah.
you get to keep him in check. We don't have
Yeah. If we need to smack once in a while.
That's how it goes in the office.
Because you get that, but you're sitting there, you sometimes you get a little antsy, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
doing
like, I hear
something.
something. I was like, who's doing that? And I looked over at me and
Derek
said,
scratching the bottom of the table.
I just, for me, like sitting is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like-
No.
I mean, listen, on a podcast, we could do a standing podcast if you want.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
But I seen that you recently started doing the heating and cooling. So how's that going?
It's awesome. It's really good. It's just, it's a way different start than what I started doing before because I know nothing about heating and cooling.
Yeah.
And it's just, I went into it, but it's, the business model that I have from like the roofing side is a little bit similar to it. Me, I know how to sell and I know how to get claims paid for. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do the actual work of it. But another thing is like I have people that know how to do the work really
Yeah.
well.
Well, that's why you run the company the way you run
Delegate.
it. Right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
delegate exactly.
So I just need somebody good that installs it, and then getting the work, getting the money, getting paid, I could handle all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like no matter what happens with the company, as long as I could bring in the money, bring in the work, I'm straight. I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No, that's
labor,
good.
you could always find.
But didn't you start with your brother, or were you never part of that?
For roofing?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. So my brother started in 2013, and I was in 8th grade or 7th grade, and I started doing the labor side for them. And so every single summer, what I would do is I would just clean up garbage.
Right.
From
Yeah.
like 6th
I mean,
grade.
Bro.
7th, 8th grade, right?
that
What are you
sounds
gonna
like the
do?
same job that I had when I was that age for sure. Just
Yeah.
cleaning up the garbage.
Yeah, like 6th or 7th grade, it was my first job. And then after that, I got into installing, working on the roof. Then I got into sales. Then I got into public adjusting. And then I got into running the company. And then I started my own company.
Yeah.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
And it's
good.
working
Yeah.
by
I'm big into leadership. So leadership, skill set, knowledge is massive. And that's what people lack in business because they don't understand that. You could go start a business and it's okay, but it's like you don't have leadership, you're fucked. You don't have knowledge, you're fucked. You got to understand that there's so many principles of a business that go into it to make it successful.
Are you gonna start the Summit Legacy thing here right now?
he's gonna announce another one right now.
I seen you did that too. That was definitely different. Something different that you were doing, huh? Like in terms of what was it called? The Legacy Summit? Is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
Legacy
it was
Summit.
fucking, dude, that was
great.
stressful. It
Was
was
it?
great.
How was
That's
it?
good, though.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. So it was really good. It was by far the best experience I've had. And me, I love coaching. I love teaching people. So me going and sharing a story with people and getting people to do something better with their life and change the habits that they have makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
The Legacy Summit was amazing. It just taught me a lot that like there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not just like you see Gary Vee or Patrick Bet David, they host 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but those guys are, like top tier, you could say,
And
right?
been doing it for a
100%.
while.
They've been doing it for so long
Yeah.
that they're gonna get an audience like that, right? So
Correct.
that's,
But it's like a lot of them say like nobody understands how stressful it is until you do it.
oh yeah,
Like that fucking thing, dude, is just it took everything out of me.
yeah.
It wasn't by the end of the day, dude, when we finished everything, me and her left by ourselves. We went to go get dinner with the team and stuff. I couldn't speak. Like my brain, I was here, like I heard people talking to me, couldn't talk, couldn't comprehend nothing.
Yeah, you were so mentally drained.
It was
Yeah.
insane.
A walking zombie.
Yeah, it was massive. Couldn't drive nothing, and like literally got home. We laid in bed out, slept for like 14
Yeah.
hours straight.
I mean, even the work building up to not just the day of, right? But all the work leading up to it, I'm
Yeah.
sure was a lot too, because it's not easy.
Well, you also gotta sell the product, right? So you gotta
Right,
sell,
right.
people show up, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
That
it
takes
is
time. It's all work.
It's a because at the end of the day, it's a product, right? It's a product. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's you. You're
it's
the
you.
product.
Yeah, exactly. You and it was it 3 other speakers, right? Guest speakers. 3 or 4?
or 5, because we have
Okay.
Bradley on there. Then we have Joshua Steinberger, Todd Price, Freddie, and then me. Ryan Stuman was on there too. So all of them were phenomenal. And so me, Todd, and Freddie, we mostly did all the work for it to host it and stuff. And then Freddie took care of all like the marketing, banners, and getting
Yep.
everything the word out. Me and Todd went and got the tickets and stuff, but it worked out a lot. It's just by yourself, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
No.
So
no,
I had a
definitely
good
not.
group of people with me, and then Talena was there to help shit ton and guide and get everything and all of that stuff. So it's like the group that we had, we were able to do such a phenomenal job on it. Without them,
It would be hard. And would it be what it was?
no.
Yeah, exactly. Are you
Maybe
gonna do it
like
again?
maybe 5 people. Yeah, I'm gonna do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Keep going, dude. I mean, now that you got your toes in it, basically just try it out and see what it takes.
Yeah,
Now you
what
can
I-
prepare it a little bit differently.
Yeah, I will for sure. What I want to do is like small masterminds, like at least every quarter with like people from. The thing is, in Chicago, you don't have leadership, you don't have guidance. Everybody goes against each other. Nobody works with each other.
Yep.
It's a massive problem. Everybody wants to kill you and stab you in Chicago. It's actually a thing.
Physically
Well,
and
actually-
business related.
It's actually a thing. But another thing is like, if we could build that and make Chicago another really good city in business and everything, and we could change the perspective on it, dude, there's no greater city than Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, this city's amazing.
I already had this conversation with so many other like business owners, like friends of mine that have businesses just in different fields or whatever, and they said the same thing. But it is leadership is definitely necessary. Competition is good, but at the same time, sometimes cutthroat competition is not so good. You know what I mean?
You see, that's a massive difference, and I'm glad you said that. Cutthroat versus regular competition, because when like we're going through all of that stuff right now, there's people who would compete with you like regularly, and there's people who will backstab you, steal from you, fuck that.
100%. They'll-
And it's like, dude, you could do it in a regular way and compete and do it in a very fair share once you know how to sell, versus lying, cheating, and fucking the person over.
Yeah, 100%.
You know.
And there's plenty of people out there that would do that.
It's
So exactly
Chicago.
that. Well, that's and that's exactly what it means, right? It's Chicago. It's you say it that way because it's the way it really is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it definitely would be good if you could make Chicago a hub of good business and whatnot.
Yeah.
Downtown, not gonna happen, not anytime soon. In terms of like suburbs, but I think Chicago suburbs are great.
Really good. Like,
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
this is
overall,
fun.
yeah, exactly. So maybe the city of Chicago has a bad rep for
Yeah.
the time being. Maybe they'll get their shit together eventually. Who knows?
But at the same time, think about it. Drive down your street. How many business owners you have on
Dude,
your street?
everybody that lives on this street here is a business owner.
Yeah.
No joke.
Dude,
Right?
if they got actual leadership for Chicago, like a mayor that led people, that guided people, that was
A business
there for the
person.
people, yeah, they would do really good. They get these schmucks that don't know what they're doing.
Well, they get them in there
They
for
get
different
sellouts.
reasons.
Yeah,
They get sellouts.
I mean,
Sellouts.
listen, this entire state is a sellout currently. if you think about it, right? We won't go too much
And
into
who's
that.
under
but-
receiving that sellout? We are.
Well, the people who pay the
Yeah.
taxes who pay higher and higher taxes every year. So, instead of paying more taxes, maybe they should incentivize us to, I don't know, open businesses, spend more money with businesses, bring in more income tax through actual spending. You know what I mean? Not dragging more debt,
yeah.
but actually reusing the money, right?
I mean, take Texas. What are they doing? They're because they want to bring all the
state of
Silicon Valley.
Texas?
Texas. They want to bring all of
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley into Texas, and they are giving them incentive. They're incentivizing them to come back. They're giving
Not
them
even
tax
to come back, but
breaks
to come in.
To come in, yeah, not back. And even like Mark Zuckerberg, when he cut out all of what is it, community notes? It wasn't community notes, was it? It was the fact checking thing that
On
used to be there.
Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When he cut it all, and he cut it down by I think 80% of the employees or something like that.
Yeah, it was a
Don't
big
quote
part.
me.
Yeah.
But he moved the whole thing to Texas.
Yeah. Why? Well, we know why. You can say whatever you want.
I'd also
Dude,
rather hire
get
somebody in
canceled.
Texas than in California.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
listen.
The thing is that people that say rich people don't pay taxes is they pay more taxes than a regular standard person could ever imagine of the amount of
Well,
money.
you be careful with saying those guys. I think people are going to start calling you out. You can only say that because you're rich.
Yeah, but I mean, another thing
I got
is
hit with that comment before.
a person that runs a business and is extremely wealthy, they pay so much taxes, and when they bring in a product and all these people that pay the tax on it, it's better than taxing a person that owns a house and they have to, like, people who pay like 30, 40 grand on a property tax is insane. But if they
100%.
go and buy a product and there's 50,000 people who buy the product, you'll gain more taxes off of that product than the house.
That just brings back to we were just talking about him, Patrick Bet David. He was saying, do you trust the government to spend your money better, or do you think you could spend it better if you're a business
I
owner?
don't trust the government.
Me all day.
That's what I'm saying, right? So at the end of the day, the government's going to take more money from you and waste it. You know,
Well, they're
we've
a
seen
business.
they
should be operated as a
They should be
business.
operated as a business for sure. They're not a business. They're welfare. They're the government's welfare. If you think about it, we pay the taxes for it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So they work off of our taxes.
It's a giant
now,
non-for-profit company.
basically, except they profit on it.
Well,
but-
most of them.
But at the end of the day, we're the ones paying their taxes. We're paying their stuff, right? We're paying the fees for that, and they're using that money to either do good with it or do bad with it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think the person who actually has a business established, knows how to do business and run businesses and whatnot, would do better with that money saved. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying not to pay no taxes.
Yeah.
Of pay a smaller amount of taxes, even if you're rich, and then that guy who ran the business, who built that business, can produce another product or expand the business or whatever, and get more sales, more income tax, right? At the end of the day, right?
How would you hold somebody accountable to that?
Well, another
How do you
thing
hold the
is-
government accountable?
Yeah.
You don't.
100%. But another thing is what he's saying is really good, because if more people come together and work together, you're going to build a bigger empire, which is going to be taxed more and a way lower percentage, and
Yep.
it's going to make way more money.
Yeah. Well,
Rather than-
that's the way you should look at it, or that's technically hyper. What's the word I'm looking for? Hypothetically, that's how it should work, right? Now, I'm sure there's going to be certain people who will skim. You know what I mean? They'll
Yeah.
play the game. I mean, Trump himself has said.
That's part of business.
Trump himself, he said when he got the tax breaks and he hit those loopholes, he's like, they were there, so I used them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Hey,
like, and
you
that's
can't-
the same thing for
Just
any
like
business.
just
If-
like everybody else that was doing the
Yeah.
same exact thing.
Exactly.
I remember when he called out Hillary Clinton about it. She's like Donald Trump and his friends are using this tax loophole. He's like, oh, you didn't?
exactly. So
But I mean, everybody talks about it so much. It's like, motherfucker, if you were making 100, 200, 300, or $1 billion a year, and you could save millions of dollars on taxes, and it's completely legal and it's all good,
Would you not?
everybody would do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
and they did, and they do.
Yeah,
They,
right.
they all talk because they don't got that money.
Well, that's the thing, and then they don't realize the other part of that is they don't. Those people out there saying tax the rich more, they don't realize how long and how hard it was to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like they don't. They have the slightest clue of what you have to put in from yourself
Yeah.
to get that far.
Put in the work and get there and see how it is.
Well, anybody can go build a
Well,
business.
I'm saying put in the work, get there yourself, and then make that same statement.
How many of those same people that? Sorry, I know I'm kind of cutting you off back and forth, but I just wanted to say that how many of those same people? Not even that. How many people started a business and failed?
Probably like 97%.
There's a very good chance you'll fail,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So those 3%, let's just say example that you said 97%. Those 3% that made it, how hard did they have to work to make it?
Oh fuck, dude, that's
That's
what
what I'm
people don't
saying.
get. But dude, the whole thing is there's two things. So if people don't understand. If they tax the rich, we're just gonna tax everybody else around
Yep.
us, which the middle class and poor people, they're gonna end up paying for it. We're not gonna end up paying for it.
What do you mean we? Oh.
Yeah, who's we? I'm poor. I'm the middle class.
No, but what's
I
it
get
called?
you. I get
with,
you.
with the whole thing of people failing in business and everything, everybody, like today we talked about it. I'd rather be an entrepreneur than an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person who becomes a millionaire and a very successful person in somebody else's company. An entrepreneur runs the company, deals with all the shit, gets his teeth kicked in, makes more money, but he has less freedom.
Isn't that what you do right now?
It's the worst fucking thing you could ever do to be an
Yeah.
entrepreneur versus, like, right now, if I had the chance to pick, entrepreneur all day.
100%.
Bro,
Same.
if somebody pays me $500,000 a year and
Yeah.
I could go no risk, no liability, do what I want when I want, and I make that much money, what, for a title? Oh, I own a company? Fuck that. Give me the money.
100% agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree because people don't realize that when you own a business, you eat, sleep, business.
Nonstop.
You gotta make sure that you have enough, that you have the money coming in.
Yeah,
That you-
24/7.
It's 24/7, 100%. Even when you're not at work, you're at
You're
work.
at work. Nobody gets this shit. Like, dude, I literally today I was telling my the assistant, I'm like, dude, when we walk in through the door, I'm like, I am responsible for this person and their whole family, this person and their whole family. It's everybody
Yeah.
that works for us plus all their families.
Yep.
It's not that we have 50 people working for us. It's 50 people plus all their families.
Which
So
could be 200 people.
it's a fuck ton.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for everybody else the minute I walk in the door, and it's just 100% me and her. Another thing is we get home, and it's like, I can't go and put my phone on silent and be like, yeah, fuck that, it's 6 o'clock. They can't tell me what to do. I work for a business. That fucker, midnight is going off. 4 a.m., that thing's going off.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like the reason why we go to the gym at 4 a.m. because nobody bothers us at 6 o'clock. The other day, we were like, 7 o'clock, my phone's going to go off. 7:01, that fucker would not stop. Back to back nonstop till like midday. It was nonstop all day.
How do you feel about this?
It's just crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy.
But another thing is that when we started this, I was like,
Get ready to kind of put your personal life on pause
yeah,
and
so
put it all into the business.
she understood though, like very well. It's when we talked about it, I was like, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be nonstop work and everything. And she was just like, oh, let's do it.
Well, if not now, then when?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
When you're 50.
I mean, if you have the skills set and you have the drive and maybe not even the connections, but just overall in general the knowledge is another thing, because you can have knowledge, but if you have zero skill set in terms of like opening a business or even trying to open one, well, all your knowledge is end of the day going to be used by somebody else who uses your knowledge to their advantage.
Yep.
But dude, that's the whole thing is like so many people are like, oh, well, if he could do it, I could do it. And they take the whole thing that you've built and then go run with it and try to redo it. You can't steal somebody's recipe and expect the sauce to be the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
100%.
gotta understand that.
I mean,
And
dude,
people run with that shit all the time. And it's like, you need to understand, you need to find your niche. You need to put in your 100% into it and then go blow it up your way and see if it works first off. Because that might not work.
yeah, 100%.
I feel like a lot of people also just see the good of it. They don't really see
Oh.
like all the
yeah,
back ends
100%.
of like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. They're
Oh,
like,
you own a
this-
business, you're rich, you got
Yeah.
everything.
I mean,
Motherfucker, yeah, I got
exactly.
everything.
I mean,
sure, I got everything.
Yeah, it
Except I
also
got no
happens-
time.
Yeah.
Well, not even as a business owner, like me as a manager at my company, they're like, yeah, your job's easy. You don't do shit. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, do my job. They're like, hey, how do you do this? Oh, you
Now
know.
you gotta know. Like, dude, it's a good part we're talking about that because it's like, so everything's all good. It's all straight. Everything's running good. Like I had a guy fall off a roof, right? It's literally a whole sunny day and everything.
He's all good.
I get out now, yeah.
Okay.
But what's I get out my house and I was supposed to go to the office. Came from the gym. Everything's all good. Get dressed, all happy and everything. It was like literally 7:32. 2 guys are off the roof, broken legs, everything. Bam.
Oh shit.
Everything just hits. Reality checks. You rush to the job site, everything. Everybody's laying there screaming and everything. It's like people don't get when you're in that moment, the fear of losing everything, going through all of that stuff, the risk that you're taking with it, and then it's like somebody's like, "Yeah, you're in a Lambo, you're lucky." Motherfucker, when people are screaming and there's shit going downhill and everything, I'm the one dealing with it because I
Yeah.
could take that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like people don't.
But who
have-
else will take it if you don't?
Yeah.
You're the owner, right?
That's like what's it called? Who's it? Who?
That's the make or break point right there.
But that guy in Florida, the mobster, way back in the day. Not Tony Montana. No, who was the guy?
He wasn't real though.
No, fuck, dude. And he was like, they need people like me, so he could point fingers.
I know what you're talking
It was
about.
in, that
Oh,
movie.
Scarface?
Yeah,
Scarface.
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 It's the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
Scarface.
So it's
I
like
thought
this-
you were talking about like an actual person.
what I
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
yeah, but like they all say, it's like that quote's massive, and she's the one that brought it up and pointed it out because it's like they need people like this.
Bro, you ever watched Lord of War with Nicolas Cage?
Fuck yeah.
Well, I'm sure you did. Lord of War, the guy says the same thing. There's people like that, like me, out there all the time. And when you put me in jail, the general is going to call me and say, "Let him out. We need people like them." You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he was selling hot weapons to random conflicts around the world, but he was making money for the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sure, he got busted. He got caught, and then he was set free.
Yeah.
And then he continued on with what he was doing. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. There are certain things, there are certain aspects, if you look at it, that's the way they play. Like there's got to be those people. I don't know what you would call those people, but they're there. You know,
You wouldn't even call them martyrs because, like,
no
Right.
fall back guys. I don't know what you would call them. They're there.
fall guys, I guess.
Sure, I guess you could say that, but yeah, exactly what you mean when you say that you know the guys fall off the roof and shit like that. I mean that's when it hits you like really hard. Like things can really go south from here, right?
Oh, 100%. Literally, the next day you could have everything gone and you're back literally living on the street.
Yeah,
Where
100%.
people don't pay you, where insurances fight you, and there's people dropping, there's all this shit happening, there's crashes, there's every single thing every day. But it's like business is 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're sad, 1 minute you're angry, 1 minute you don't know what's going on. 1 minute you're a millionaire, next minute you're broke as fuck. It's nonstop everything, and people don't know how to control and they quit.
Yeah.
But it's
You
like
can't
so many,
you can't quit when it gets hard.
Oh no.
no.
That's
when
when
you
you
learn the
That's
most.
when you learn the most lessons is when it's
Yeah.
hard.
Like,
That's why I
dude,
always say, like, every time you have a good day, just soak in this because you're gonna have 5 bad days. You're gonna have 1 good day. You're just gonna have to just be appreciative of it. 100%.
out of 7
You
days
You know,
you
it's like
get one.
remember this day right now. You know?
Yeah, dude. But that's the
Yeah.
truth
Like
at
we're
the end
having a
of the day.
good day. You got 5 claims approved. You know, like
Yeah,
it's
dude.
gonna. It's yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
7 days you get one.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, but then you know
That's
so,
your entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
think of
And
that.
you're how old are you?
But because,
27.
And you're how old?
I'll be 30 in Tuesday.
Oh,
you go.
I know.
that's around the
I
room.
know.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
you guys are May kids.
Huh?
Oh yeah. May babies. May
Oh,
babies.
I'm from May too.
Oh wait, what's your birthday?
I can't say.
Okay.
Yes, you can. The first.
May 1st.
Oh, we already have it.
yeah, May 1st, man. I was already
Happy
May 1st.
belated
Yeah.
birthday.
happy
Thank you
belated
very much.
birthday.
Yeah, we celebrated down in Tennessee. We went down to Tennessee for communion for my cousin. It was a nice time. Thinking about moving to Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's nice.
That's nice.
Nah, I've been thinking about that for a long time. Maybe eventually in time I will, but right now too many things holding me down here that I just can't leave.
I'll start an IT company down there.
I mean, you can go tomorrow, dude. You got nothing holding you back
I'll go with
except the
you.
podcast.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, but it was a nice time. It was nice. Would have been nice if my nose was all fucked up. I got in a fight with sheep right before we left. Look at my nose. You see it's green,
They
You
kick
see
you or
it's green?
something?
dude.
Headbutted him.
Dude,
Oh,
fuck.
no.
It was
The
a,
sheep
Why were you
there?
just
Yeah.
down, like,
yeah,
Are you
yeah,
going
dude.
face to face with the sheep?
No, I didn't go face to face with the sheep. I went face to face with the wall because of the sheep. So that was
Those guys get all up in your business, bro. I was
yeah, to get up in your business,
They just hit
except
you?
when you're trying to capture them and like hold on to them. Because I was trying to catch one because I was trying to put him on. You don't normally do this, but I was trying to put him on a leash so I can send him out to my yard, so he can eat the grass all around. Right?
Oh yeah.
And I grabbed his ass, and he started running, or she, because she started running, and I slipped with my one foot. I literally fell on my knee and smacked my face off the wall.
oh my gosh.
Bro, bleeding everywhere. I
You have a
walked in the
video of
hospital.
that?
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, bro, I know we're supposed to leave in like 6 hours. Probably not going to happen. We'll probably leave a little later than that. My face is all messed up. So
Hold on, you were gonna let the sheep out
I was going to leave it
and
for
let,
you.
and let it graze, and then you're gonna let me handle
Yeah,
that.
that was the whole plan. Yeah, that was-
You got what you deserve.
and then I got my
It's karma, dude.
Yeah, fucking sheep, bro. Came back. I'm like,
Sheep
I'm
hit
gonna
my back.
I'm gonna take care of them when I get some time. But that was fun. That was a good weekend. And enjoyed it. Long drive there and back, but worth it.
Dude, one time when we went to Tennessee, it took us almost 14 hours to get
How?
there. We rented out a bus and
Oh,
So it was like 12 of us in there, and like
Oh,
all the
okay.
girls had to go to the bathroom, and then we were hungry, and then the guys needed to stop to get more food.
That sounds like driving with children,
Dude, it
which
was
I
a
literally did.
long time, yeah.
No, we drank like 2 bottles.
Paul
on the
gave
way
him
there.
Paul gave his
my
kids
God.
melatonin. And
No,
he
I did
just
not.
Drove.
No, I did not. I didn't give him nothing.
They slept the whole time.
Hell no. It was a long ass drive.
Yeah, I know
for
you're
a
right.
reason.
I got those Snapchats, bro. They were like in the front seat at one point. Not while you were driving, but
No. It was fun. It was a good time to get away, but a little stressful with the kids. You know, during the day we try to leave early in the morning, like 3 a.m. Like I said, I couldn't,
Yeah.
and because they would have slept at least a good amount in the morning, but we left at like 7, so they were awake most of the time.
So what time did you do that with the sheep?
Bro, it was like 9 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
and by the way, there's no lights out there
there was lights in the barn.
in the barn.
Yeah, in the barn. It was like 8 or 9. It was dark already. It was already getting
Were
dark.
you trying to do this inside the barn?
Yes, that's how I hit the wall. And then Lenka was over there playing with the chickens and shit, and I'm like, Lenka, we gotta go. Blood pouring
Dude,
everywhere.
his
and shit.
daughter's so funny with the little chickens that they have right now that they're raising. She just grabs them, throws them,
Oh my
grabs one,
gosh.
throws them.
Then they fly. She wants to see them fly, so they're flying. You know, she doesn't throw them against the wall or
Did you
anything.
know that chickens don't fly?
You get PETA called on you.
Yeah, exactly. No. She throws them to see if they fly. They definitely fly. They're all still alive. Nothing's broken.
They're
But,
having fun.
They're having fun. Exactly. Well,
Maybe not.
she's grown into liking this kind of stuff. Like I said, we have sheep, we have chickens, we just had baby cats, kittens.
Oh.
I got a dog. I got bees, but she doesn't mess with the bees. And she likes being around the animals, and she likes what I like. She was cutting the grass with me today on tractor. She was sitting
Yeah.
on my lap and we're driving around cutting the grass.
So how many kids you got?
2
Girls, boys?
2 girls.
Okay. So do they have friends that come by that don't grow up the way they do? And what I mean by they don't grow up the way your kids do is like being out on a farm.
100%.
And what's the difference?
You can't really tell just yet. You can kind of tell. Like, Alenka's not afraid to go grab the animals and like go to them and shit, which is probably not always a good thing,
Yeah.
you know, because you got to be kind of careful, you know, especially with like the sheep. Now that I know,
Oh, yeah.
these fuckers.
Well, but the
But
whole thing
overall,
is-
in general, they are like the other kids are
Cautious.
cautious. Maybe they don't even like the grass, like the tall grass that much. They don't like, you know, the noises. You know, chickens make noises and stuff like that. So some of them don't like that. And Lenka's not bothered by that anymore. She's used to it. She's more afraid of going on a big ass slide at the playground than other kids are. You know what I mean? Because she's just not used to it. She just doesn't do it enough. You know.
Now,
So
once you
Yeah.
finish that,
once we get the playground running, which reminds me, I got to talk to you about it
oh,
later.
shit.
I think what's a
But it is a
You-
different kind of a lifestyle. Like because you're from Poland, obviously.
Yeah.
You were born here?
yeah,
You were born
no,
here.
Poland.
You were born in Poland or born
Yeah,
here?
Poland.
Poland. How old are you when you came here?
8.
8. So and you guys were kind of on a farm, weren't you?
All farm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So you guys were the same age when you came here.
So I was the same thing. And I grew up on it. I drove tractors when I was 8,
Yeah.
literally.
Mhm.
And I liked it. And now I can see that my child also likes it. Like my girl likes it also as well, you know? So to me, that's kind of like it's a nice for me to see, but and also understand it. You understand? I understand what she's looking at, how she feels about it, stuff like that. So I was raised on it. I understand it. I like it, and it seems that she does as well. So what the future brings, we'll see. You know, she might like it right now, and then she might hate it when she's older.
I think another thing is doing this stuff is gonna make her be more successful. She's not gonna have the fear of doing shit.
Well, I would hope, right?
You know
That's
what I
what you want, right? That's why, and you know, she's still little. She's 3.5 years old. So
Yeah,
she's,
but another thing is you the way you're programming their brain
Oh yeah,
is
yeah,
the fear is not there.
yeah. Well, she's got a fear, one fear, bugs,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
flying bugs.
You
She
know,
don't-
you
she
know,
don't-
bird flew in here earlier.
Did
when
it?
you-
I
dude,
bet you she had a blast.
No, she didn't see it. I was
No.
trying to kick it out, dude. I think it was a mission.
Um,
That's why you gotta go open your garage door.
but you know, but that's something you get over in due time. You know, I mean, you'll get
Yeah,
over that kind of
yeah.
stuff, right? But now she's already for what the age she is. She doesn't have much fear, which is like I said, is a good thing, and sometimes a bad thing.
Well,
Sometimes you want those little kids to have a little bit of fear because, you know, the road. That's
Just
the
be
road's
preca-
close,
yeah,
right?
precautious.
You got no fear of cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then they get
Yeah.
too close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She likes cars. She gets in the car all the time and drives with me in the passenger seat around the house right here, right? I got a golf cart. She sits in there. We drive around it together, you know? So she likes that kind of stuff. But, you know, you also got to be cautious about it, right? You see cars. She sits on the deck sometimes on a swing and watches cars drive by, and she goes, white car, black car, brown car, gray car. I'm like, next you're gonna learn how to the models. GTR, S1000, Evo.
So
I don't think
how
that's
old
all
is
that
she?
passes by your house.
No, I wish.
How old is
How
she?
old is she?
She's
She's
3.5.
Yeah, she's 3.5. So she's very. She's a
Did you
very.
let her drive it?
And to drive what? She drives these cars, dude. This is her.
She's got the Cadillac.
Yeah,
she's got
Caddy
she's
right
got a
there,
pink
dude.
Lambo back there, dude.
Yeah. Oh, flip the camera. What do we have in the garage, dude? Right?
Yeah.
Let's
This is the one good day.
This is the day
in
Marcin-
exchange for 6 bad days, right?
Yeah.
Oh man,
So tell us about it. What is it?
what is it? Yeah,
It's Honda Civic. No, it's
that doesn't look like one.
It's
it's
beautiful.
Huracan Evo 2021.
Very
It's-
nice.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. I mean, this thing's just it's the way they drive and everything. I thought it was gonna be very stiff and drive shitty.
No.
Dude, this thing drives amazing. Like best supercar I've probably ever driven.
Yeah.
Like I had an R8 before that. Fuck that, dude. Uncomfortable as shit. This thing is so comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks nice. It's beautiful. It's clean. You said it's low mileage. It's
A 5K.
How much did you put on that since you got it? Because you got it like this week, like a week
Like
ago.
almost 1,000.
Yeah.
yeah. So you enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's extremely loud. So they already come from the manufacturer with a upgraded exhaust.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do shit to it. It just screams extremely well. You could drive it in regular thing and it won't be too loud. It's still loud as hell. Or you could just turn it on to Corsa and it's just going to be obnoxiously loud.
Yeah. It's got a valve exhaust for sure. That's why it's going to be loud. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder if it's loud in my GTR.
Hmm.
To put it to the test.
Oh, your shit's going to beat it. Dude, you're like double the power and less the weight.
Oh, shit. No. How much is this weigh? Do you know how much this weigh? You know any specs on it or no?
No.
That's the best, dude. That's the best. But you know what? You drove it. You bought it so you can enjoy it. So the rest doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing
Yeah.
big.
No, I mean, it's a really good business expense. We use it
100%.
for business, for sales. Dude, you get sales, you get people, you get employees. It's the best investment I've probably made.
So we had a friend of mine on here, 2 or 3 weeks ago, Matt. He just bought a Porsche
911
Turbo
Turbo.
S, and he's like, dude, after I bought this car, I met all these people like who are in the higher end car world and what like, and then he asked him like, what do you do? And dude, I know, it's awesome.
It's a different level of. It's a different level of respect in the street.
That's what it is, respect.
But
Yeah,
it's also the people you run into is like, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Because an average person doesn't give a shit about this.
100%. Well, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
They were like,
You know, and they're not going to be good.
They're like, that's
You know
my
what I mean?
dream car.
Yeah.
Well, that and then fuck this guy because he can afford and I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna get that. You're gonna get haters all the time. That's
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
normal.
I got
I'm already.
Oh,
I
I'm
get
sure.
the feeling he
I'm
already
sure.
has.
I'm sure.
After something I read the other day.
Yeah. I got some.
They're out there, bro. Haters are always out there, bro.
Stalking.
Fuck them, dude. They're
But-
just such losers. It's like it's like you're gonna hate a person that's doing stuff, but it's like go do your own life.
Well, go do something like
Yeah,
this so
get
you
on
can
Facebook
get
and stop
something
being
like
a troll,
this.
like-
Well, yeah, you can troll all you want.
Yeah.
I love trolling when I get a chance to politically, right? I'm a troller out there, especially recently. But now I stopped. Elections are over. I stopped trolling. Yeah, dude, just put your head down and go do the same thing. Go open a business. Go work harder. You don't even have to open a business. Go work.
harder.
If you're in sales and you make commission, go make more sales. Make more commission. Get yourself a Lambo.
Dude, the person that is in sales, it goes up and up their own company is the dumbest person. They're dumber than a broke person.
Explain.
Like a salesperson is like, dude, if you dive straight into the company and you focus on all the sales, you could probably make more money or very close to the owner, and you don't have any of the liability, any of the risk, any of the problems.
That makes sense. Yeah, I
You
get what you're
leave,
saying.
You're like, fuck that.
So
deal
you
with it.
work for somebody making sales, but you make a shit ton of sales, you make a lot of money, and at the end of the day, you wipe your hands and you say, "All right, I'm going home. I don't give a
I
shit
got you
what
guys the
happens."
business. You guys take care of the
Yeah.
rest.
Like, dude,
Exactly.
Those guys fell off. Who had to deal with it? Me, the sales rep that sold the house. He's like, I don't give a fuck. It's all you.
100%.
I don't care
100%.
about that stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
and
people don't pay. I don't care. You stole me money.
exactly. I did my part of the job. Now pay up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing is, like I said, there's going to be haters everywhere for everyone who gets ahead. Even if you get a little bit ahead, people are going to be hitting at you. That's just the way it is.
Dude, I like it though.
Hell yeah, we like it, dude.
I like it.
You know
I'm just
why?
like, dude,
Because it just drives you more.
Yeah, another thing is it's like straight at them, and like you don't even have to say anything. It's just like fuck you.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you don't have to say anything.
Yeah,
You don't.
have to at all.
You don't. Just take a picture.
Sounds.
You know?
They're so focused on it.
I've been watching you in the last couple of years when you've been growing and starting your, you started with like the short clips for roofing and whatnot, rolling off the roof and shit. I seen that.
That was so funny when I first saw that one.
So that was
Where
good.
Like
That was good.
or you roll like you.
You rolled in from somewhere, like from the side or whatever the hell. Something's gonna happen. Some shit.
That was
Like on
the
the roof, right?
yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first one you started. Like when you did those like transitions, I was laughing my ass off.
Dude,
Dude.
yeah, those
But
are
tell me, after those, you started doing those. Did you get a boost in business?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Marketing.
So by far we have out of the roofing companies, but in Illinois,
Because you're the most famous roofer I know in the Chicagoland area, dude.
True. Well, another thing is in Illinois, I think we have the best marketing for social media. Not
Yeah.
in America, in Illinois.
Yeah.
Because I see some other roofing companies, they're doing a phenomenal job at marketing and videos and stuff. In Illinois, by far the best.
That's
So
good. That's
our
good.
camera guy is doing really good, and we get, dude, there's like people who will be like, hey, can we just, we need a roof, but we want to use you guys. Can you make a video out of our house?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's like, dude, the best thing ever
No shit. So then it's coming into you by itself then.
by itself.
That's good.
Like
I seen one of your guys' cars over here last week in neighbor's house. She just sold not too long ago. I seen one of your guys was out here working on it actually. So I'm like, oh, wonder if it's Derek. I'm like, that's probably Derek.
I just for some reason I always see you driving somewhere. I seen you a few weeks ago. I was leaving my house right behind him. The other day I saw I don't know if you guys still have the Tesla. I saw the Tesla driving. I'm like, this guy, just wherever I go,
Lifetime restoration.
there's a lifetime restoration vehicle.
That's good. That's good though. As long as business is expanding and things are going good, then can't complain, right?
A lot of people, they don't understand that it's like, so what I want to do is build a massive marketing company that just sells roofs. It's just part of it. But the one thing is that people lack is like, they'll be like, well, I want to do roofing and I'm just going to focus on roofing. And they don't understand and they don't build the back end of it, what it's supposed to show the people the image of what they want.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about a roof, seeing it nonstop. Dude, if you saw roofs day in, day out on your social media, you would block the person.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does get annoying when you see the same shit over and over again, right?
Dude, it's just like,
Like our clips.
We don't care because we ain't famous.
At least
so
they're
it don't
different.
matter.
At least they're different clips every time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen. You did a podcast before. I mean, you maybe eventually you'll continue again. I'm not sure if you will or not, but that's how we did our things together. I went on your podcast before. I think you're here to return a favor, I would say.
yeah.
But we just did it for shits and giggles. Realistically, it's fun to talk to people and hear their stories and kind of get some information. We learn a lot of information. We get called out for disinformation all the time, which is the internet. As I say all the
fine by
time,
us.
in my opinion, don't believe everything you read on the internet, people.
In my opinion, don't believe everything.
See, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? Yeah. So
I was actually gonna ask about the podcast. You plan on bringing it back?
not enough time.
I don't know.
Time's tough now. Or
Yeah, for
tough
me,
to
it's
find
just, dude, it's like, for us, it's like when people say, like, people work 24, we work 24/7. Like, Monday through Monday, Sunday, Saturdays, Fridays, it's nonstop. It does not stop. It's like, for me to go and do a podcast, another thing is like, I look at it as like, now I got to take time out of my day. And it's like, I met a lot of great people. They came in, good stories and every single thing, and it was phenomenal. Like, when you talked about cryptocurrency, there was so much knowledge there. But to me, it started taking time out of the things that I'm good at and that was making me money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just...
Well, what you were doing is what you did the podcast because you try and try something different, something new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try something different, something new, right?
Yeah.
But
and a podcast isn't something that's going to be
successful.
It's not going to be, if it is successful,
it's gonna take
it's not going to, it's going to take time, right?
A lot of time.
The time, I mean, time, resources,
energy.
Yeah.
Like we just said earlier, bringing on people if you want to bring somebody on, finding people to talk to, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not everybody is in for that kind of stuff. Is the first thing.
I was gonna say we have the luxury of like having just us two. So if we can't find anybody, we can just jump on the mic and talk about
Say whatever we want to talk
and
about.
you know, that's usually when we get the most comments about us. You know,
talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, spreading disinformation.
yeah,
you know,
but,
me.
you know, but,
But
yeah,
the
At
whole
least
thing
you're
is
getting
this,
those interactions, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what you
stuff,
get,
yeah.
and that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for interactions overall
Yeah.
in general, right? You get a bad comment, who gives a shit? I don't care, bro. It's like, dude,
you just like it.
yeah, subscribe,
Yeah.
subscribe so you can talk more shit. We'll take it. You know what I mean?
dude, it's
So-
like social media is all about like you have your own opinion, do whatever you want, but some people just take it so literal.
Bro,
Yeah.
It's like holy
man.
shit, dude, chill out already,
bro.
or go to sleep or something, you know.
Touch grass.
Yeah, go. But
Go on a roof.
yeah, go on a roof. Yeah, go do something with your life. Yeah, that's the thing is that in the new generation of the time that we're in, social media is a big aspect of our life, right? Like even for like, you know, for you guys specifically for your business, right? For my business, we use social media as well. Maybe not to the extent that you guys use it, but we use it anyway, right? Because it's good. It brings in traffic, it brings in flow, it brings in customers. We get customers from all around the world now, mostly because of our social media. So it's a good thing, but you can't spend what?
Finish your story and I'll tell you.
You know, talk some shit.
No.
Man, forget what I was saying now. But
You can't spend.
Social
you can't
media.
spend half your day sitting on social media, bro, and reading.
True.
You know, reading. Just you can. I spend time on social media myself sometimes. You know, that's where I get my information, my news, whatever. Right. I like to be informed, right, about random shit.
Yeah.
But you can't be sitting on there all the time and like trolling. Like I troll for like a week, and I'm like, bro, this is tiring. Why do I keep fucking doing this? You know.
Well, dude,
Somebody
another
does that
thing
full
is-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the
they're
thing.
crazy.
Those people are crazy, dude. It's like, don't you have anything better to do?
Yeah, they don't.
But it's
Don't you have like
these
a job
phones,
to go to?
They could make you or break you. Like
Yeah.
you could use it as an advantage and use it for a good source, or like there's people that will just literally sit there, no job, no nothing at all, sit there and just fuck off on it.
Yeah, use it as a tool, use it as a crutch. It's up to you. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, you can use it for both. It has uses, multiple uses,
Uh-huh.
good and bad, right?
Yep.
Like you don't want kids sitting on social media all the time. Like there's plenty of these people out there who are Instagram influencers or whatever you call them, where they basically show you that they're sitting on a beach all day, enjoying their time, they're having the greatest time of their life. But then you realize that the background is actually, you know, CGI or whatever it could
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
or like off of a window, off of a phone or some shit on a plane or something like that. You can fake that kind of stuff.
Especially for like kids, because they don't
And
understand
people with
that stuff,
low
but-
self-esteem are hit the hardest with that kind of shit.
Yep.
How come I can't be like that? Why can't I do this? Why can't I be like that? This and that. You got to work for it. You got to do it. You can't just believe it. It doesn't just come to you. Unless you're rich already, or your parents are rich and just hand you money with fucking by the
Yeah.
bags, you're not going to be in that position. You got to go get it. You got to go do it. You got to go earn it.
Yeah.
You know, and some people just don't get that, especially the younger generation. It doesn't just come to you. You know, you're young but being 27 and being where you're at right now, that's pretty good, dude. Most
Yep.
people in your age are not nowhere near that. You know what I mean? So that's for you, that's success already. You're already successful as it is. Now you just got to keep it going. Come up with different ideas if you want to. You don't even have to technically. Just continue doing what you're doing now.
Yeah.
But if you want to go bigger and better and, you know, and more money and everything, you just got to put more time into it, more effort, more thought, you know.
I mean, dude,
Motivation.
last week we went to Revis High School to speak to the kids. It was like this small little career day, and we spoke to 4 different classes of like 20 people, 20 kids that are freshmen.
Revis,
They
huh?
would rotate, every 20 minutes.
Old stomping grounds.
So there's what I'm seeing is the freshmen right now. So they're like 14, 15. They think so much differently than when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And everybody that was a freshman during my age is like college, party, and do whatever.
Yeah.
These guys, a lot of them are like work and business and trades.
See?
It's a
And that's the
big
thing.
fucking percentage.
I've seen that happen in the last few years. That new generation coming up is a
Dude.
completely different. The
Way
previous,
different.
like your generation, yours is generation. Technically, I don't know what generation would you be?
Gen
So
X.
We're all millennial. Well, no, I'm millennial.
I'm millennial,
I'm Gen X.
You're
And
Gen
then you
X.
have
Gen Z.
Gen Z,
I'm
Which one is Gen Z?
I'm
the
millennial.
one right after me.
Yeah. Because I'm millennial because I'm 94.
When does that end?
Look that up. I'm
96.
curious because I'm.
So then,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
you
95 and young and old.
90, I'm 95.
Yeah. Or I might be the last one. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna tell you correctly, but
But the whole thing is like, dude, these fucking like, bro, I'm talking to these kids and all this stuff, and it's like, they're such like bro, there's so much in them, and people are lacking, and they fucking.
Which ones are we talking about specifically?
The 14, 15-year-olds now, and there's like so they just need good leadership, good guidance, and bro, these people are gonna be so great, but like. Teachers have an issue with fucking judging and their kids, and they don't know what they want. Dude, show the fucking person what they got to do.
Yeah,
bro,
100%.
guide them, lead them, show them.
Just bringing in people who are successful, like of your age or older. It doesn't matter how old they are. Just bring in successful people and show, hey, you can do it. They can probably do it.
Yeah.
You know, they just need that. They just need
Guidance.
that guidance. They just need that reassurance that if you try, it can happen. Right? Don't be afraid to fail either. That's the biggest thing. Don't be afraid to fail. Because if you fail, you learn a lot of lessons.
People look at failing as quitting, and failing, it's just making sure that
Falling
you keep
upwards.
redoing that step until you actually make it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So what do we got here?
Falling upwards.
All right, silent generation. I think they're all dead already.
No, 1945. I mean,
No, none of them. Dude, I was driving by today. I have a Trump sticker on my truck, right? Just not trying to get too political. I'm driving by and I'm looking to the window, and this old dude, like with a fucking Vietnam hat, driving by. He's like, got you, bro. Brand new truck, brand spanking new. Oh my God. All right.
so
Baby boomers.
generation millennials 81 and 96. Okay, so 29 to 44.
So
Yeah,
we're
you're Gen Z.
so you
Yeah.
You're the only Gen Z here.
Uh-huh.
the most successful.
Yeah,
See,
true.
see, it does work out. And
Definitely
then
the
Generation
1%.
Alpha, 2013, 25.
I can't
So
believe
how old-
I can't believe if you're born in 2013, you're 12 already.
They're not in high school yet.
That's
Right.
crazy. That's when I graduated. It was 2013.
I graduated 2012, so
Damn.
you were 12.
Oh, me?
Six.
07, dude.
07.
Now I'm just trying to figure out the math. So the 14-year-olds now were born. So if you're talking about 14, 15-year-olds freshmen, those kids were born
2011.
2011, 2010, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. Interesting. So it seems like the back end of Generation Z has kind of shifted mentality compared to the top, the front, the beginning of Generation
Well-
Z. Because I call Generation Z, like the 28-year-olds today, most of them are dumb. Like pretty, you know,
They're stupid as
pretty
fuck.
stupid as fuck. Yeah, I didn't want to go that far, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
But-
they're
I work
Not
with
that there's-
I work with a lot of them.
not that they're stupid as fuck. I don't think that's the right
They're
wording.
lazy, and they have no
Lazy,
ambition.
yes, lazy.
Lazy is one
Ambition
thing
is
for
missing. Social media took over most of their life.
Guidance, ego. Dude,
Yeah.
their fucking egos are bad, entitled as shit. Nobody can tell them nothing. They don't want to do nothing. You're
So it
not in
seems
charge
like
of me.
that maybe the 10 years of that. It says from 28 to from 13 to 28. So from 28 years, so let's say 10 years, so 18. So
Let's say 13 to 18-year-olds, right, are probably
the more, I would say maybe
grounded.
What do you
Yeah.
think is changing that?
past experiences. Specifically, let's say you're 15 years old, the parents are probably going to be somewhere in the early 40s, maybe 40s. They already learned the lesson in terms of talking about like social media, and not only social media, but
They grew up with it.
what they grew up with it is one thing. So they know how to handle it and how to kind of teach their kids and how to not get too deep into it. That's one thing. Also, I think a lot of them realized that college wasn't always the right answer. Like pushing somebody to go to college who doesn't want to go to college is probably not a good idea. Example of myself. And I think overall, I think a work ethic is coming back. That work ethic was missing for a long time. Because I think at that time, too many people, like I said, they just spent too much time on social media and not putting more effort into themselves, into their job, into everything else.
That and I think like when we were in high school and stuff, what did everybody tell us? Go to college. Go to college.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Go to college.
Yeah.
And I think now those people that went to college and are now having kids had kids are now like, you don't have to go to college.
Well, no, I mean, listen, if
Well-
they went to college and they had a successful career in college and they
Sure,
had a successful career
sure.
afterwards, they'd be like, go to college.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But if they didn't, and they learned in real time that you don't necessarily have to have a college degree to be good and make money.
Yeah,
Well,
I think like for us, like, you know, our parents are foreign. They didn't obviously go to college and
That was
stuff like that.
different,
And they wanted us to go to college. And I know they just wanted us to have a better life and stuff like that. But I don't think like they didn't. I don't think they realized the option to not go to college and still become successful.
Well, the whole thing is like, dude, social media now is promoting no college. Like Patrick Bet-David, Bradley, Joe Rogan, all those guys are like, dude, fuck college. Mark Zuckerberg is saying don't go to college, go into a trade. Electrician making 120 grand now.
Bro, yeah.
Dude, all these kids are seeing it, and like the people who they're influenced by it and all the social media rock stars are saying like, no, stop that stuff just because you got a party. Go into a trade and your life is financially free.
You can still party when you're not in college.
Oh, you're way harder because you got more money.
Yeah, exactly,
You
right?
drink
And
better
no
liquor.
debt.
Yeah, and no debt, exactly.
I mean, people still need to go to college, right? Because there's jobs that require it and
Yeah.
stuff
well, listen,
like that.
lawyers should go to college.
Yeah.
You know,
Doctors
pharmacists,
should go to
doctors, go to college. You know,
Yeah.
you'll probably get your education there. You'll have a good career at the end. It'll be worth it.
But even that takes commitment and a
But
lot
if
of
you're
work.
going to college to learn about gender studies,
Oh God.
your career is gonna be short and very volatile.
Mm-hmm.
At that, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna have to deal with a lot of shit, and you're gonna be in a lot of debt.
You might be working at Starbucks. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna let's not even go there. Anyway,
Dude, there's a big problem, but the problem's changing. The problem within the last 6 months has been changing into the world waking up and being like, I don't know, the world just brighter now.
You can't get away.
yeah,
you
100%.
can't get away with everything. Like those people are like, you know, these people that are going out. Oh, you know, you're assuming my gender, blah blah. People aren't taking that shit anymore.
no,
They're like I don't give a fuck, dude. Like
Yeah.
they literally just say dude because they don't care.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like, you know, after the election, I think this was a big election for us. You know, Trump won. I'm a fan of Trump. I'm not like their fucking hardest core, most you know, Trump, whatever, because I know there's certain things that he also can't do, but also things that maybe he pushes a little too far. I get it.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not, but in terms of his policies and everything, a lot of the shit I agree with, and I'm for it. You know, and then after he won, it seems like there was a reset. Literally,
It seems like common sense is making a
well,
comeback.
you would freaking
Yeah,
hope.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
common
yeah,
sense.
common
yeah,
sense
is making a comeback.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I think that new generation, I think now also the young generation has the option now to do their own research and see what, you know, and basically distinguish on their own what's real, what's not,
Yep.
right?
ChatGPT.
Well, ChatGPT can lead you in all kinds of fucking.
It says it right
directions.
there. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. It says it right there at the bottom, dude.
So
I can't. No, I can't.
certain things.
What?
You gotta use the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's
my
take a
gosh,
break. We'll take a break. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Pause real
No
quick.
But the whole thing of what it was is that more people look into going into trades and starting businesses and doing something on
Oh,
their
yeah.
own because there's more value in it that they see instead of being just forced into going into college. But like what you said is like lawyers, doctors, all of that stuff, they still got to go to colleges. Another thing is it keeps kids accountable to go to college.
It does, 100%.
Yeah.
You can't just say that, you know, oh, you can do whatever you want. You want to say you should go to college, right? And maybe try to even to guide them along that way, but don't force it,
Yeah.
right? Don't force it. Like if you see that he's not going to be a good college student, he's going to go to college just to party, man. If you
There's
want to
gotta
go,
be
if you want to
control.
go at that point, you could pay for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not paying you to go party.
Or go to a local college where he's got to come home. You know.
Exactly.
Dude, I remember when I graduated high school, and so none of my brothers really went to college, and they dropped out of high school, but they're all really successful and everything. But my brother Matt, he was like, "No, you're going to college and everything." Then my mom was like, "He doesn't want." And then I was supposed to go to the military, so dude, I was like all signed up and everything, went to the test and everything, and it was like the last paperwork to get it signed in order
Yeah.
for me to go. He's like, "No, you're going to college. You don't have a choice. I'm signing you up. I'm going over there." So, dude, he signed everything. He's like, "You have to go over there." He's like, "You're not going to do shit and everything." And then my sister-in-law, like, it was a long fucking
why'd
thing
you
going
line up?
on. Yeah, about me going to college. Because it's like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, dude, I don't want to do it. And then Matt's like, "No, you're going to college for something. Like, you got to do something with it." And then Joanna was like, "Dude, you just got to get him into sales because, like, he never stops talking. And he's really good wherever he goes." So, like, wherever we went, they would always be like, "Hey, go get the information." I would just go. And it's like this full-on conversation and everything. And then I went into Moraine Valley and then literally walked in and I said, fuck this. Like right off the bat, 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not doing this at all. And I called him. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I will not do this at all. Like, it's guaranteed. And he's like, well, you're doing roofing for the rest of your life. I was like, I'll take that. And then he came and he's like, here's a polo, go and sell roofs. So like he threw a blue polo at me. And then I was just like, okay. So I had these khakis on and I had a polo, and I went and I just knocked the door. I'm like, hey, you want a free roof? They just slammed the door. Next one, hey, you want a free roof? They just slammed the door. Third one, they called the cops. And this was an LSIP by 127th, that whole subdivision.
Yeah.
And I ran to my truck and I hid under the seats and I called him like, dude, the cops are looking for me. Everything. He said, what the fuck you do? And I'm like, I have no clue. The guy was pissed and I don't know what happened. And then he said, well, just go out there and see what they want, and then everything. So I finally got out. I went there, and then the cop was like, you're soliciting. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I didn't even know what the word meant.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you can't go and sell stuff. I'm like, no, I'm just telling them they could get a free roof by the insurance. He's like, yeah, you're selling the roof. And I was like, no, it's an inspection. The guy's like, you're selling them a product. I was like, no, it's an inspection. He's not getting anything.
So you had no idea.
Nothing at all. And the cop is like, okay, dude, call the owner of the company right now. And then they get on a call and he's just like, okay. And Matt's like, dude, you got to get out of there, go. And then he's like, dude, we got to figure out, because it went on for like 4 weeks that I got 0 inspections, nothing. So then I went on YouTube and figured out on how door knocking works and persuading people and everything. And then first week went really good. Second week, third week, got training, got into leadership, got into mentorship, had people coach me, and it just fucking
Rest is
And
history.
then it went from there. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But you didn't
it's
give up, right?
No, 99% of people would be like, the first day they'd be like, fuck
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And I know myself, I would be like, bro, fuck this. I'm not gonna keep
shit.
doing this.
I'm
But
not
then,
door knocking.
but you can't say fuck this and just walk away from it. Just be like, maybe I can change it.
can't-
Maybe I can improve on it.
You
right?
can't knock it till you try it.
Nice.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay.
Talk about door knocking.
Oh
oh my god, that's a good. Right over Paul's head, dude.
I get it, sort of. Yeah, you can't be afraid to fail, right?
Yeah.
And then try again, and then just try a different way.
I mean,
and then try a
shit. When
different
I
way.
was 17, I was in sales. I was working at Sprint, dude. I had top sales my entire company for months at a
That
time.
shit's good.
Mind you, I had the entire Polish population on lock on the south side because I was the only Polish speaker in the store, right? So, but still, you still have to sell.
I'm trying to think if I ever had a sales job.
No, you never like talking
Well,
as
you
much as
owning
like
the
I
company,
did.
that's a sales job.
Well,
another
that's
thing
what it
is-
turned into, right? A sales job at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Because when I started my company,
you got
dude,
to sell your company.
when I started my company, first of all, I don't know how to sell shit for nothing, right? I was just fucking Craigslist was big at that time. It was all on Craigslist. People just hit me up and I was wrote back and just be like, I got it, I don't got it, yada yada yada. And then it got more into selling on eBay, and then it got into selling on Facebook. And Facebook was brought on by somebody that I know that helped me actually get into that. 2 people helped me get into that. Ralph, who was my original employee.
Yep.
Questioner?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he worked for me for
A long time.
a long time.
Yeah, he's a very nice
He
guy.
was one
Yeah.
of our first roofs, right?
Yeah, he was my first customer.
Yeah, and
A very good guy.
I just talked to him yesterday,
Mhm.
and we were just talking about exotics actually, because he used to work at a shop and he doesn't work there anymore.
Oh, he left?
He left, yeah, I think in January. He's been trying to figure out his own things, trying to do something
I gotta
different.
reach out to him.
And then, so he was my original employee. He learned the entire job on the job, like stripping cars and shit like that. And then he started selling on like forums and stuff like that. So he was based on that. I didn't get into selling on Facebook, like peer to peer, until I had a guy named Dan Fock working for me. He's the one who set up my Facebook account, and then he's like, you should, advertise. Not even advertise, it's just, share your shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's how it started with that. So I had no idea. And I was not now I'm a straight up fucking salesman. That's what I am right now. Like I am, like, you call me and I'll be talking to you about your GTR, and I'll be selling you parts at the same time, Oh, I got it. I don't got it. I can get it. I can't get it. Stuff like that. So that's part of my business now, right? Sales is where my money's made, right? So, but before that, no.
Yeah, and a lot of people, what they think of sales is like just shadiness and all of that stuff. But
Well, because there is in some sales, there really is.
Some people are shady.
Yeah, some people are
it's a
shady
big
making
picture
sales.
of it. But
Yeah.
when you realize it, everybody's a salesman.
100%.
Every single human being. Like when I met her, you got to sell yourself on being the right person for them.
Did he go?
guiding them.
Did he go do a good job? It looks like he did.
4 weeks. So
But it works both ways. It's both
100%.
ways.
100%. And
Yeah.
it's like you could see certain people that are just single majority of their life and everything. They're like, yeah, everybody sucks in every single thing. Your mentality is just fucked up and your ego has to be let go. And the minute you change that and you look at people as humans that are going to provide for you and help you in real life,
Yeah,
everything changes.
100%.
Because
I
like
have-
me and her, it's not always rainbows and sunshine
course not.
24/7. Those fights make you even better into a person and a better relationship to come out better out of it and build something together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as that is of equal for both. You know what I mean?
Both
Yeah.
parties are
Like one person can't be like that, and the other person could be the
Yeah.
opposite of that because it'll never work.
Hey, I
Right.
mean, I have somebody that has been single for a while, and he's like, "Oh, this person because of this, because of that." I'm like, "Well, I mean, if you're gonna have these high expectations for yourself,
Dude.
like what do you expect?" And then somebody's gonna come around, but you won't even go talk to them. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you gotta sell yourself just by walking up and saying hi. We were at the bar the other day, and I got the approval from my girlfriend, and I was like, I went out with some girl. I'm like, hey, my buddy thinks you're cute, and he wants to come talk to you, but you know he's a little nervous. She's like, where's he at? I'll just go up to him, you know. But that automatically puts him on the defensive because, and then he's like, oh no, it's not for me. That's not for me. Like,
Can't be
like,
scared,
what
bro.
do you want?
It's
But
a
then
scary
when they don't talk, it's not for me.
Are we gonna start doing relationship advice on here?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that what
but
we're
another
gonna
thing
do?
Paul,
is-
and Paul, you know exactly who this is. His
mean-
name starts with a 2.
Oh Lord.
It's the whole thing is the whole judging thing of like, and I know a few guys where they're like, oh well, she doesn't have a family and all this stuff. Dude, you don't have that person with you. You're not building anything with them. You don't know how the fuck they are. Fuck their family.
Yeah, 100%. You're
I'm
not married to family.
Fuck
Yeah, that's-
no, hell no. I'm
No.
with that person, dude. Like you don't understand. That person is there with me and everything. The minute I knew she was all in with me and for the business and stuff, fuck everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then that's the way
Dude,
you gotta
it's-
look at it.
That's
I mean-
the whole thing. Curb stomp everybody else. Get out my way. We're rolling in. We're diving deep.
I 100% agree. I mean, like I said, you're not marrying the family. Even the family, sometimes the family is nice and good.
It's-
Sometimes the family is not so
yeah.
nice and so good. You
It's
know what I
all-
mean? That's just the way it
Yeah,
is.
It is.
And you just gotta be, when you get to that point, you just put a stop to it and be like, all right, now I'm, now like you guys are now getting married in 4 weeks or whatever. When I was getting married, I'm like, I'm
Brother,
getting married
congrats, by the way.
to this one person, right? And that's it. I'm not married. The
Yeah.
family is there, it's included, whatever, everything, but they're not gonna make decisions for me.
Yeah.
They don't think they're stuff in my house and tell me what I should be doing
Yep.
No.
because you're in my house, right? You know what I mean? Exactly. You,
You
know?
gotta respect
And
it.
me and her are the ones making the decisions, not somebody making decisions for us.
Yeah.
I don't like that, and I don't.
I know people who are like, and it's a lot of guys. It's not females that they're mama's boys, and the mommies come over there and oh, your girl doesn't do that. She doesn't cook. She doesn't
Well, that's
clean.
typical.
Okay, but now listen to this. How about your fuckface son? Does he provide for her? Does he guide her? Is he the real leader that he's supposed to? Is he the man that he's supposed to? No.
No, he's a bitch.
Exactly. No, you know what I mean?
I
But I
mean,
know what you mean,
The man-
100%.
the
I
man's
agree.
a pussy, but the mom has so much to say that, oh, your wife doesn't cook. Bitch boy over here can't even protect his girl.
Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
exactly,
I'm not gonna lie. I did that before.
What?
Where I listened to like my mom's like it wasn't like her being like, oh, like that's not the person, just like feedback, right? And you know you're on camera,
I know
right?
we're on camera. I'm making funny faces. So
But yeah, I mean, I was guilty of that. Or like, I listened to my mom and a relationship didn't work out. I'm like, to be honest, the relationship wasn't even bad. Like, you
Yeah.
know, and I was like, but then I let that kind of seep into the back of my. I think it wasn't more of like I was a mama's boy, but it was more like I let her comments seep into the back of my mind, just kind of take over, right? And then it made me see doubts and everything like that.
Well, another
Where-
thing is you might have respected your mom a lot
Absolutely, I still do. I mean, I do, right? I mean,
I respect my mother for sure. Our mother.
yeah.
I was like, are you his brothers?
You
Very
didn't know?
much.
Yeah.
But when she forced me to go to college and I didn't want to, I went to college for 2 years. I dropped out.
That same thing.
I just went and I said, one day I just showed up at college. I said, fuck this. I ain't doing this anymore. That's it. And that's the thing. But I was already 2 years in. I was already in like fucking $50K of debt just from that. That would have been a good boost for my business had I not spent it on fucking an education that I didn't use later down the road, right? It would have been. It would have been a different story. It would have been different. I would have been in a different part. I would have been in a different part of my life now, right? You know what I mean, if I didn't waste 2 years of my life going to college and wasting my time.
But
I
maybe
mean, it was
you
just a
wouldn't
delay.
be.
It was just a delay.
Maybe you wouldn't.
Maybe you wouldn't be.
Yeah, true.
Maybe I'll be sleeping under the bridge.
No, I mean, if anything, I would just call it a delay.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, dude, we are a massive believer in God and the way everything works out in His favor. The time, and I 100% still remember all of this, we're like, we need to put our full life and everything into God's hands, and we're going to roll with it, and He's going to guide us, and it's His way, and that's it. We started praying. We wake up, we pray. We go to sleep, we pray. Before we eat, we pray, and we
That's
go
awesome.
to church.
We pray together. You know?
That's what it is.
100%. And it's like, dude, sometimes I'll give my dogs food and I'll just do a quick prayer with them. And it's like, they just stand there and just stare at you.
They'll bring up dogs right now.
But it's just like, it's
Put mine down
crazy.
yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah, like, don't bring up dogs
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
sorry, dude. Oh no.
Sorry.
It's a
to say.
family dog.
Yeah,
Damn,
not 16
dude.
years.
Holy shit. The other day, yeah, no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I
Yeah,
was like,
no.
God
We had
damn.
a scare the other day
It's
with
like-
ours.
yeah.
My my German Shepherd went paralyzed this
Oh,
weekend.
For a
Shit.
day, and it was fucked, but we talk about it.
Yeah,
But
it
where we
was
update,
bad. But,
we pray.
The whole thing is like,
Sorry, dude.
That's why German
So-
Shepherd's fine.
Yeah.
You pray.
Yeah.
I grew up in that whole relationship thing and everything with my grandma, my family, and everything, because that's what we all went to church and everything. But then in high school, I wasn't a good kid in high school. I really wasn't. I was in super bad environment, and the job that I had and everything, it was really dark and bad. And I drifted away from them massively. And then when me and her got back into it, when we started dating, so she's a massive savior in my life. It was huge, because without that, it's either I'd be dead or in jail. Those are the two only options.
Two options that are pretty hardcore, huh?
Yeah, and the one thing is like,
They're in the middle.
so when she came in, a lot of that changed. But the minute we gave our full life into God and let Him control that, dude, the world just got so much more clear. Everything just went better, and like, life just got so easier.
God gives you a perspective. It teaches you lessons. I mean, believe me, I'm a believer in God myself.
Yeah, we all are.
We all are,
Yeah.
and that's the way we were raised.
Yeah.
And everybody had that point where they turned away for a little bit and then came back. Like, because it's not hard to turn away.
It's real easy.
It's real easy.
Real easy. It's,
Right.
It's harder to come back.
It's harder to come back, yeah, and actually believe in something, right? So everybody hits that point at one point or another. Sometimes some people hit it hard. Some people, what I'm trying to say is some people take it as I turned away for a little bit and I came back and I'm okay. Or some people turned away where they're like, I don't want nothing to do with it. And then they come back years later and they're like, I think I messed up maybe a little bit. Or maybe I just lived my life at the time the way it was. And then I realized that I'm missing something. Right?
But those kinds of people, I feel like sometimes,
Bro, but those people, when they come back,
yeah, are those ones that jump both feet in,
yeah.
like no questions asked, not no questions asked, but you know, they're
committed.
They
They're
commit
committed.
more than somebody that's just kind of like a passive religious person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those people that kind of turned away, or maybe or maybe something just happened in their life to like kind of give that spark. A lot of times they'll just come in and they'll both feet first, and you know, they don't ask any questions, and they just, you know, that belief comes.
I'm under the impression that having a belief in something has a big influence on your life.
Massive.
Not believing in anything doesn't.
Your life's bland.
But you're also missing. You're also missing some guidance. I would say lessons along the road, and then you're kind of missing. What am I trying? What's the word I'm looking for? You're missing. Can't think of the
Something
word.
to live for, and like the guidance that you need in leadership. Because if you open up the Bible and you look at it and you follow it, it tells you the whole perspective in life and what to do to be a good person. And being that good person and following all those steps in that Bible just puts you in such a good way in life where everybody acknowledges you.
Well, it has a lot
everybody
more
respects
pluses
you.
than negatives.
Way more.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you can have the negatives of like, is it really real? Sure, you can ask that question. You could ask, was Jesus always a good man? You would, the Bible says yes, right? We know how people are.
Yeah.
People can have tendencies to be bad,
Where people make
right?
mistakes.
People make
100%.
mistakes. That's normal. You can't expect somebody to be perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect person. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a perfect person.
What if I fact checked you?
Fucking fact check me, dude. There is no such
No,
thing.
there's no perfect people.
No, there isn't. And there's no perfect relationship either.
No.
There is never going to be a perfect relationship. And if it looks like it's perfect, it's fake.
It's
But
fake
the
for
minute
sure, yeah.
people realize that the two people who aren't perfect but are willing to try it,
And negotiate a deal.
that's fucking massive.
Yeah, 100%.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Power of negotiation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so what's it called with like the so I just had a client where we went to go pick up the check and she was like, "Can I take a picture with you with your ID and you and the check?" And like we were like, "Why are you so skeptical? What happened?" And she was like, "About 15 years ago I gave a roofer $12,500
And he
they
dipped.
dipped out."
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I've gotten $60,000 before in cash, massive wad of cash, and it's like, okay, there's a pretty big percentage of people that'd be like, $60K, fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah.
How are you gonna prove that you gave it to me?
Yeah.
Right. Another thing is when you know that the higher power is watching and every single thing,
Yeah.
you're not gonna do that. You're gonna run the proper way, dude. You know how much business I gained from that guy?
Probably a lot.
Massive amounts.
Trust.
It was huge.
I
Because
had
when
the
somebody
same
gives you
situation.
60K,
Yeah. I had the same situation work out from yesterday. Same thing. I had a guy I made a deal with, and basically, long story short, I made a deal with a guy, and he wasn't happy with one part of the deal. Didn't want to continue doing the deal. Wanted to renegotiate the deal, which I didn't want to because it was, sold. This wasn't actually for something I was selling. It was something I was selling for somebody else. And he's like, "Well, if you don't want to, if you're gonna be like that, then just keep the money. I don't want it back, but we'll never make a deal again." I'm like, "Bro, that's like 30K." And whatever he took already was only worth like 5. So I can just take 25K and just be in profit and just call it a day. And I'm like, I can't do that, dude. Like, I
Yeah.
can't just take that money, pocket it, and be like, it is what it is. You fucked up or whatever. I'm like, let's figure out a deal.
and you could have.
I could have.
You could have, and you'd be all
100%.
good.
This was
You'd
money.
be
This was
legit.
money that was in my bank that he couldn't get.
Mhm.
Right? I could 100% be like, well, fuck it. You said it yourself, so be it. But then I'm like, dude, I can't do that. My
Conscious.
conscience won't allow me to do such
Yeah.
a thing, right? Like, I have to make the deal right. So I talked to the guy, and we finally got to an agreement that made sense where he actually paid more money to add something extra on.
Yeah.
So it worked out, right? If we didn't do the full deal for the full amount, it's maybe 3/4 of the amount that was originally talked about.
Still better than
But everybody's happy.
yeah.
On my conscience, I have the fact that if we made a deal, I didn't take anybody's money. I don't feel bad about it, right? And on his end, it's like this guy actually came in, decided that he was not going to just take the money and run. He'll make a deal. He's like, we'll make more deals in the future.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, we did a roof, and where we get our material brought us the wrong color, but it was an upgraded color, and we did everything. Dude, it was all done and everything. And when everybody left, I'm going through the pictures, and I'm like, "Yo, guys, it's the wrong roof." And everybody was like, "No, it's the right roof." We went through it. The supplier that we got it from screwed up the whole color and everything, the truck and all of that stuff. We call them, they're like, "Dude, we'll give you all the money, pay all the labor and every
Yeah.
single thing." And one person came to me and he was like, "Dude, take all of that money, do all of that. You don't got to change the roof.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
homeowner
yeah.
doesn't want it, everything." Bro, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was probably almost 20 grand. And me and her, and mostly her, she was like, "Dude, we can't do that. That's so bad, lying about that stuff." I called the homeowner and I was like, "Listen, we fucked up. We put on the wrong roof. The supplier brought an upgraded color. It's way better for you guys, and you don't have to pay for it, but it's not the color you guys wanted. If you guys want, we'll replace it. If you guys don't want, it's a win-win for you no matter what." And the homeowner was like, "No, we actually know this is the wrong color, but we love this color way more than what we chose." We told the supplier, we're like, dude, it's all good. We solved the issue and every single thing. They're like, we'll give you money for every single thing. I was like, we're all good.
Don't give me money. Just give me a better deal next time.
Every single thing. But it worked out. But like, dude, in that chance, I was able to get the homeowner, get the supplier and everything,
And everybody was
over
happy.
20 grand.
Yeah.
And
Over 20
double
grand.
your money almost, you know?
Dude, quadruple the money.
Yeah.
And like, we had the chance, but it's like, I 100% truly believe, like, dude, I was in Poland, she was in California, opposite ways of the fucking world, and we were putting together because it's like, she saves me from so much of this shit, because it's like, dude, I'm a man, I would be just like,
I'm
well,
gonna
the
take a money.
supplier won't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just take it.
Well, you know who's on your shoulder telling you that, right?
Yeah.
You know. So at the end of the day, that's why having something that you believe in, even a religion, anything, just believe in something, also gives you guidance for your conscience.
Yeah, some kind of higher power, because
Well, that, but as
Well,
long as
but
you
I'm-
have something more than just believing in a higher power, something that has lessons to be learned, a religion, right?
Sure, but like it's one of those. I mean, that's religion's still
Yeah.
higher power, but that's one of those things that at the end of the day you got to report to that.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
report.
your conscience reports to it yourself, right?
Well, no, at the end of the day you have to report
Well,
to that too.
yeah, 100%,
So
100%. But-
it's one of those things where it's like and you know what?
That makes you a better person.
It makes you a better person, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you may not see it, but it probably impacted you and your business positively. That's good karma.
And yourself
That's
for-
just good
yeah,
karma.
Feel better.
Specifically
I guess,
yourself for the future.
Yeah, I'm
right?
just saying. Not only did you feel better, but
You could have
like-
pocketed
like-
that money and been like,
yeah.
Well, the way I look at it, it was a test from the big guy.
it could have very well been a
Right.
test from the big guy.
Who
So
knows?
let's test you. If you want to keep going more forward, let's test you on this thing. I'll fuck up the whole order, and I'll blame it on somebody else, and we'll see if you run towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole thing is, when people become evil with their money, they lose everything very quick.
Their values.
And then they're like, we don't know what's happened.
yeah.
You became evil with your money. You used what
George
you prayed
Soros.
for, and you fucked so many more people over.
The U.S.
with it.
government.
What's up?
I was just talking about examples of who bad people or evil people are.
Oh,
I said George Soros, the U.S. government. Yeah, dude. Definitely probably a test. You know what I
That's
mean?
why always people.
He'll-
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You go.
Yeah,
No.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's why people say when people get rich, the true person comes out. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you just see, like the
They've
evil
been
person,
that
you know what I mean?
person.
They've been that person.
Yeah,
But
exactly. The money doesn't change you. Is another thing.
It's just
Money
yeah.
just
shouldn't.
brings the real you out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can be the same person, rich or poor, right? You just when you have money, you have more options. So at the end of the day, me and my buddies always
Like
will
Ryan
talk about.
Garcia says, rich or poor, I'm still the same motherfucker
motherfucker.
that keeps sucking shit.
So
I love
yeah,
that.
exactly. So at the end of the day, you can be rich, you can be poor, you can still be the same person. But in some instances, somebody gets money and has money in their hand, they become a different person.
Oh,
They
don't know what to do
believe
with
they
themselves.
lose their beliefs. They lose their values. They lose their friends. They lose a lot of stuff along the way because they just don't. They're now the next tier. They
They
don't.
get
They don't
evil.
care about you.
And
bro.
the crazy part is they're like, what happened? What did I do?
Yeah.
They don't even know. Like a lot of people.
Narcissist people.
A lot of people don't even know,
Yeah.
right?
It's dude. There's so much of that stuff.
And they'll still blame everybody else. Oh, I don't need those people anyways, or those people were fake
oh,
friends
look
or
at what
whatever.
they're doing. Look what they're doing.
Yeah,
Look all you want, right? At the end of the day, it's like, listen, if you have
keep
to drive,
looking. I'm gonna keep doing.
yeah, 100%. I'm gonna move my feet while you can stand in place. You know what I mean? It's what it is, right? You wanna advance in life. You want the next best thing, whatever it could be. You gotta work for it, dude. Hey, it doesn't
You gotta
really-
eat dirt.
You gotta either it could fall in your hands. 60K could fall in your hands and you can just walk away with it, right? Will anybody know? Somebody will know. Will it come back in the future and bite you in the ass? It's very possible. Maybe it doesn't have to, right? You can get away with certain things. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you get away with certain things, right? You can. Sometimes it literally happens and something happens in a way where nobody loses and the only thing that comes out of it is a positive. There's literally very rare chances like that can happen, but it can't happen. Then you ask yourself, at that point, what do you say? You go with it or you don't, right? It's I can't think of an example like just right off the top of my head. I can't.
Yeah.
But
I
there
know
are
where you're going with it,
I
but
think
then
I
again,
think
it's,
I think at the end of, at that point, it's kind of like honesty is the best policy, right? Where it's
if you're honest with everybody and nobody
Yeah.
loses and you're gaining an advantage of some sort, it could be monetary or value wise or whatever it could be.
Yeah.
I'm all for, it's all you, man.
I mean, because that supplier easily could have been like, no, dude, we messed up. We're gonna pay you no matter what, and you could have said no, and they still could have sent a check, right?
100%. And then what are you gonna do? Not cash it
I'm
at that
cashing.
point, right?
Yeah.
But then but then you would take that money and you'd be like, you go to the homeowner. Let's say, like an example, you get that money, you go to the homeowner and say, listen, the company, the homeowner.
Oh.
You go to the homeowner and you say, homeowner, and you say, hey, we fucked up, and even if you like it, the supplier paid us out for it, so here's half the money. Here's your bonus,
or donate it,
or donate it, or do whatever,
do
whatever.
something, right?
This
But
is, we're
at
talking
least
about
at
hypotheticals.
at least at that point, you've already kind of
You did all the rights.
You did all the
fixed
rights,
everything that you
right?
could, right? You put everything in its place.
know.
So
that's a hypothetical, like if they did, right? Because at the end of the day, somebody over there was like, well, he said it was all good, so we're good.
yeah, so
You know,
but it worked out. I'm sure that the supplier that supplied you guys with the material probably
never made a mistake again.
that, and maybe looked at it and said he's an honest person. We can give him, we can work with him. You know what I mean? Continue working with
Yeah,
him.
no, it brings a lot of value in it, and it's like dude. Like, we had a situation that happened just this week. It's just a business thing, but I have so much respect on the street in the construction world that you just can't fucking break that. Like, no matter who could go over there and everything, and it's like I'm really young in it, but like everybody in the industry and everything, they just respect me. Like, nobody will go against me, nobody will fuck me, and like all these contractors over there, they'll go and they'll be like, hey, you gotta watch out for this guy. They're just doing that. I'm out. And like, dude, I get phone calls where it's like these people are just like, here's what's happening. It's like, dude, I 100% respect you. I never want to get in your way. You're honest. You help people out on every single thing.
Yeah, and that's what you
When
want,
you
right?
gain the respect, no matter what motherfucker wants to cross you,
Somebody
won't
else
happen.
will got your back.
Won't happen.
Yeah, 100%.
How many fights? I mean, over the course of the years, I mean, I feel like I've been a pretty good person over my lifetime. But like, how many people like do you that maybe had your back that you didn't even know about, right? They were like somebody's like talking shit or whatever, and the person's like, hey man, they're not like that, even if something simple like that, but it's the fact that you made an impact on that person, that they're willing to stand up for you.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with them.
Even they
Right?
don't know you 100%.
Right,
Yeah, 100%.
they still do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, I remember one time I went off on a buddy of mine because he was just being a real jerk. He was a jerk to me, to my friends, and everything like that. And he was in our friend group, right? And he would be like, "Oh man, your girlfriend's so hot, blah blah blah," and like say this stuff while he was dating somebody. And I'm like, at one point I was like, "Yo," I'm like, "You can say whatever you want to me, that's fine." I'm like, "You do not talk to my friends like that." I'm like, "They don't deserve it," right? And after that, he's like, "Dude, ever since that," I went off for like 15 minutes on him, by the way. And ever since that, completely different person. At least
They
when
gotta
he
be
talks
put in the check.
Yeah.
when he talks to me, but he got him and his girlfriend obviously didn't work out. He got a new girl, and now
Surprise.
yeah, but now they're married. They have a kid, right? They're super happy, and he's a genuinely good guy now, or a much better guy. Not that he was a terrible person before, but he's a genuinely better person now than he was before. And one time we were just talking. He's like, dude, he's like, ever since you did that, he's like,
That was
it's kind of
reality
opened my
check.
eyes. Yeah, exactly.
Tell us, how do you feel about being? I'm talking to you specifically.
Oh, me? Oh, gosh.
How do you feel about being in this whole business, the business that you guys are in? But how do you feel like? What kind of impact has it made on you, in terms of running the business, starting the business with Derek, and then just overall, helping the business expand and grow and everything? I mean, because it's I would say it would be different for a man and then different for a woman in terms of like a business venture like of this sort, right?
Especially like this category of business.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So how do you feel? Like, how has it been for you?
I mean, I love it, and sometimes I'm just like, dude, this shit's so fucking hard. Like, I just feel like when we first started, like, I mean, I had to learn a lot, you know, because he's been doing it since he was 13, and
That's
for
kind of
me,
what
I'm
I
like,
was trying to say. Yeah.
yeah, like I didn't know anything about a fucking roof. I was like, what's a soffit? What's a fucking fascia? Like, I was like, what is this? You know? But then eventually, like, he just kind of taught me everything, and then like for the whole business part, like he knew how to sell, and then like there was all these things like in the office part that needed to kind of grow. And I was like, okay, he needs his claims filed, he needs this done, he needs this done. And I was like, so I would just learn all these other, like learn all those things.
So almost
yeah.
in the way like a back office job, but the back office job is what runs the company.
Yeah, and then so like as soon as I learned that, then that's when I was like, okay, now we can hire someone for this position. So now I was in a different position, was like learning all this other stuff. Okay, this is a different position. So like I feel like I'm just learning all these other little things, and then you just train the person, and then just put them in that spot.
Talena walks up to a job site. She's like, I could do that better than they can.
Yeah,
She's like, give me a hammer.
Yeah.
Strap me in.
No, but it's definitely a learning thing, and I just feel like a lot of people I don't know if they kind of think like a negative thought, like, oh, you're working with your spouse, but I feel like it kind of brought us closer. We definitely have some.
At the end of the day, it is your money together, right? So
yeah, right.
So
no, but there's some hard days, you know. But it's like when he comes home, I'm not like just sitting at home and, you know, cleaning the house or whatever, and then I have to ask him like, hey, like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like, I already know he's had a bad day. I'm gonna let him be. He's gonna, you know, like decompress. We'll make some dinner, and then we could talk about it later, you know, when you're ready.
Do you guys have like a turn off button for
Sometimes
when you get home?
Yeah, sometimes we'll just like, well, what we
I know
do,
business is 24/7,
yeah,
but
I mean, not. It depends. I mean,
The thing is, my turn off button now is just getting in that with her music and go.
yeah, that's our favorite thing is
So-
driving
There it
around.
is.
I've always been that. My therapy is me being in a car, just nothing, just a car and just go. When I'm in a truck, there's no music, there's nothing. It's just me in the truck, just driving to work and everything. My brain nonstop goes like crazy, and I come up with the best shit ever. For me, my therapy is my car. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'll go meditate. I need therapy. I need to talk to a person." No, me, it's ripping a car. It's massive for me.
Hey, do you,
listening to music actually?
Huh?
Me
And yours is
listening
to music.
so you guys got the best
So
of
it's
both
like-
worlds in a
Listen,
car
like,
drive.
When I go
yeah.
to a gym, it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it de-stress." For me, yeah, I work out because I want to be healthy. Like for me, health is big. But like to decompress and let shit out, the minute I get this car in and I go rip it for an hour, I'll come back. I'm smiling.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
Hey, do you think we'll ever get somebody on a podcast that isn't a car person? No.
I'm trying to
I
think.
don't
of
think
it.
you want them on your podcast. If you're not a car person.
We literally have a camera for.
We
Yeah, for a car. I was like, I
we
don't
like cars, bro. I've liked cars for a long time. You know, I got a car of
So-
my own that I like. You know, I do the same thing, bro. Sometimes when the GTR is running properly and doesn't piss me off, like today in the morning.
Well, let me rephrase all of this stuff. When the car runs perfect, it's fun. That's when you decompress.
Yeah, that's when I'm decompressing for sure. But I do this. I mean, you know, I do the same thing, bro.
I mean,
If I
sometimes,
get in the car, if I get in
Yeah.
the bro, I'm not driving slow. I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat.
or sometimes even working on a car is like decompressing.
If you know what the problem is,
Well, I'll give you an example. I had
Yeah, right.
I had a terrible day on Monday. It was right before you came back, and I was still here. And I'm like, the lift's free. I just got to do an oil change, right, for my car. And my day was so shit at work, and I'm like, you know what? I will take a ratchet slipping and my fist going into the engine at Mach 3 speeds over this day, any day. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm coming here. I'm just working on my car, right? And
It
it
helps.
just there you go. It's just,
Because you,
know,
slip away
something.
from the bullshit that you deal with
Yeah.
the whole day, and that's
Yeah.
what people don't
Yeah.
understand.
Sounds like the example of my morning today. I was like,
But the day the
well,
sheep
since I
ate
didn't go pick up the car, I was supposed to go pick up in Quincy, Illinois today. I'm gonna go pick that up tomorrow. I'm gonna drive the GTR to work. I go in the garage, I start the car starts up, and then it starts to go.
Oh, I meant to tell you about that when I drove it.
I'm like, what the fuck, bro? God damn it! The one nice day we have where I can just go take you out for a ride, bro. You're just not cooperating, bro. I gotta go work on it, you know. And I gotta go do whatever the F it needs to make it, you know. When it runs, it fucking runs. All right. I'll be speeding on the highway screaming in the car when I'm driving. I tend to do it a lot.
I
when I'm
can
driving.
literally. By the way, I can perfectly envision Paul holding a steering wheel just like this, yelling, "Oh shit!" the entire way down.
That's what I did last time. Yeah, I was going very fast on the highway, and I'm like, bro, I'm going so fucking fast. I'm like, holy shit! And I'm fucking driving, bro. Fucking, 170 plus.
So,
So
dude,
I
she
love that
used to.
adrenaline.
Yeah, she used to work at when I met her. She used to work at Hooters,
Oh,
and
God.
I went out and
what a turn of events, huh?
Yeah, right.
I
Literally.
bought a 2001 Audi S4 that had over 600 horsepower to the wheels. It was fucking quick, and then she was like, "You bought that old thing?" And I put her in the car, and we went for a drive, and she was like, "I fucking love this thing, dude." After that night, she's like, "Can we go in the car? Can we go in the car nonstop?" She would not get out of it.
So you like
I
fast
love that.
cars?
Oh, we love fast
Dude,
cars.
she loves
I
them.
don't know, like an adrenaline rush, or I don't know what it is. Even
That's
when you
gonna change when you
hit
have
the
kids
R8,
one day.
Yeah.
Dude.
Let me tell you, when you guys have kids one day, it's gonna change. If you guys are gonna have kids, that'll change.
Yeah.
Michelle used to love being in fast cars too. Nah, not so much. She's like, in the back of my mind, we got kids. I'm like, I know, it's in the back of my mind too.
But
is fun.
this is an open road.
But this is an open road. There's nobody here.
And there's no bumps. I know
Nobody's
this
Yeah.
road.
sleeping in the back seat. So it's fun, bro. It's definitely having something like that. It doesn't even have to be a
A
supercar.
or it doesn't have to be a car even. Just having something to take your mind off everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you gotta concentrate on when you're driving, and you're just concentrating on that. If you're going super fucking fast, you're really paying attention to what you're doing, right? But sometimes just cruising, just having the just the
Windows
thoughts come.
down.
Yeah, the windows down.
Yeah,
and just
dude,
the
and you
thoughts
just,
come into
like-
your head.
But
It is.
sometimes that's where your best ideas come from.
100%.
Out of nowhere, when you don't think.
Or your
that's
worst
when it comes
ideas.
to you. Right.
Sometimes you get the
best
worst
things
ideas.
happen unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the day I met her was 100% unexpected. I was not supposed to go to this place at all. Like my friend came and dragged me out of the room. I was in bed, and he dragged me out of the room. It wasn't supposed to happen. The best things always happen at the times that they're not meant to happen. They're meant to happen. It's the times that you don't want to go to that
Yeah.
area, and
Yeah, 100%. I mean, expected, unexpected, right? And then you get, you guys. That's how you guys met, right? That's from one point of view. Same thing with me, dude. That's how I met Michelle. She was friends with my sister, and I went to go pick up my sister, and I'm like, "Who's this?" She's like, "Oh, it's my friend Michelle." I'm like, "Huh, interesting."
you're coming
She's
home
beautiful.
with me.
So
You kicked the sister out. You're
that's how that happened. So
Aw.
Are they still
unexpected.
friends?
Huh? Oh yeah, they're friends.
Oh.
They kind of gotta be now.
They're sisters now.
So yeah, man. Sometimes it works out
in a good way.
in a good way.
yeah.
I mean, there's bumps along the road.
Yeah, but that's normal.
And you're gonna have problems along the way as well, and you're gonna have all kinds of things happen where good and bad. I mean, business is business. That's how it's gonna be. Business almost is like I would say business is almost like a personal relationship. You have good days, you have bad days.
I mean, you have a relationship with your business at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, 100%. You
Right.
do, right? Sometimes you love it, sometimes you hate it.
it's
I mean,
it's usually a one-way street. But
Yeah.
Dude, so many people, what they look for is they want to be happy 24/7.
Good
Andrew
luck.
Tate literally says this. He was like, life is not meant to be happy. Life is misery, going through shit, dealing with shit, problems, solutions, and everything. And somewhere along the way, somewhere in there, you deserve to be happy a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Your
I
life
agree.
is supposed to be difficult. It's not fucking... Dude, if you're happy 24/7, you need to go see a doctor. There's something wrong
You're
up there.
not. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, there's cuckoo-ness in there
yeah,
for sure.
100%. I 100% agree with that. And that's where a lot of people make the mistake that you always have to be happy.
Like, people who are always happy, that I don't know, they annoy me. It's like when I see people that are just nonstop,
Yeah, but it's like,
just
are they happy for good reasoning, or
No, I
are
think
they
they're-
happy because like I had are we talking about like one day? We talking about like a week? We talking about a year? Are we just nonstop? You can be happy nonstop. I guess you could be happy nonstop, but I don't know if I know a happy person that has everything they want.
Nah.
right.
Right? If you think about it, right? Like if you're gonna be a happy person, then what makes you want to go and work and go make money and get the next step up and level up?
There's
right?
no drive.
There's no drive. Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're already happy, then the strive for what? More happiness, I
No
guess. I don't
purpose.
fucking know. I don't know. I know. I rarely ever am I happy.
Unless you're Gandhi, I guess.
Gandhi was in prison for a long time, so I don't know if he was happy in getting in prison.
You have to meditate more.
I'm happy though. In general, I'm happy in my life. I'm not saying that I'm not. I am, but definitely need
It's stress.
some anger and some stress sometimes, so that it just drives you.
Yeah, men need that. They need that all the time. Men need that anger, that drive, and all of that stuff because, dude, there's so many men that are so weak now, and they're just like such pussies.
No, I agree. 100%.
It's just like you look at them, and it's like, dude, it's like,
I see these videos sometimes on social media
what is wrong with you? Like,
where a dude just
Test
comes up and
levels.
like,
We're
Yeah,
gonna be
they-
down to it.
oh yeah,
Test
but
levels.
what is yeah, exactly. But what is that? What does that come from?
the food, all the bullshit that they deal with. They
Like,
don't eat
yeah,
properly. They don't work
100%.
out properly. They don't
Seed
take the
oils.
proper nutrition.
Yep.
Their chemicals. Go to Starbucks. Get a pink drink. You become pink. What do
Yeah,
you think?
never
all
heard
these
that one
people-
before.
Your hair
Think
becomes
about
pink.
That's
that.
a new one.
Think about all the drinks that they have over there and everything. These kids keep drinking and they're like, yeah, I'm transgender. Dude, you don't eat. You haven't had a proper nutrition at all. All you're doing is drinking all this bullshit chemicals and every single thing. Bro, a man needs proper testosterone over 1,000. He needs proper food, proper health to go out and get it. A man needs anger.
100%.
That's the drive. That's where it goes and they get shit done. They need to be hunters.
Yeah,
The
100%.
test is so low now. Think about this. 1940, test was 2,000. 1960, test is 1,700. 1970, test is 1,200. 2000, test is 700. Now guess what it is?
Probably 500.
200 standard.
Yeah.
200. You know what a woman is? 100. Women naturally have
That's why they're
100.
confused.
So that's the whole thing. It's like they have such testosterone and all of that. The minute man brings up his testosterone to 1,000 and over, the drive is there, the happiness is there, the success is there. They get so much more done.
Yeah, you just need it.
And it kills it because now doctors, you go to a clinic and they just say, well, yeah, 200 is okay. He's just, depressed. Let's put him on antidepressants. Fuck that. Give him tests and you'll fix him. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that or just have him change his lifestyle. But he has to actually want to do it, not be forced to do it. Well, you could be forced to do it if you're like 400 pounds. Then yes, forced to do it, right? Because if you don't, you're gonna die, right? But if you're 200 pounds, 300 pounds, whatever, you gotta force yourself to do it, and that takes a lot of mental capacity to do so, right? Like people just, dude, and I can say this for myself sometimes. It's like I know what I need to do sometimes, and I just don't fucking feel like doing it.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that we got kids. Kids stress us out a little bit sometimes. It's with two little kids running around, especially for the wife, stressful. They always running around trying to light the house on fire. I got a business. I got the farm to manage around the house and shit like that. All the time, dealing with customers, stuff like that. Sometimes you want to do it, but it just can't find the time. You have maybe you could say the time or even maybe the drive. It's missing, right? Like sometimes it is missing, and sometimes you try to get it, and just like I said to myself this year I'm gonna do push-ups every day. Shit, I've been doing them every single day. 40, 50 push-ups a day. Cool. I'm gonna take better care of my teeth and actually floss every day. I used to floss once a week. Whatever, don't judge me. Floss every day. Brush my teeth. I brush my teeth all the time. I brush my teeth more often than I should, I think, which is probably not a good thing either. But I started flossing. I'm like, I want to do that because I want to take care of my teeth. I have weak teeth. Certain things you can do, but you just have to put yourself into it and do it right. You just can't do everything. It just
No, but
you can't do everything.
Another thing is like, I don't want people thinking what you're saying is 100% true, and certain people might take that wrong. With everything that I meant is like those lazy motherfuckers that don't do anything throughout the day, and then they still at the end of the day don't hit the gym or do anything.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. 100%. I agree.
You get up at 6 a.m. and don't stop till 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and then it's like,
And
well,
not
10
6
to
a.m.,
11 is the only time I could go to a gym, and it's like, dude, I've been up for like 14 hours straight working, dealing with
Yeah.
kids, farm, work, customers, and everything.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's
a
see,
different
my
scenario.
biggest obstacle currently that I'm dealing with is very hard to deal with is waking up early. Bro.
Oh man, that's my biggest problem. I think
Bro.
That's
that's
when you go to sleep.
Late. That's my other biggest problem.
yeah.
Why?
So I go to sleep late because sometimes I stay up and like one of my kids goes to sleep late. 10:30, 11 o'clock is like a standard time, if not later. So just that alone keeps us awake.
Yeah.
I like to work in the garage late at night because I feel like I get the most done at that time. I feel like if I'm in the garage, like if I spend my time in here for the next, if I'm here from like 8 to like 10, I'll get a shit ton done. I'll fucking clean shit up. I'll work in the garage. I'll take care of some business. I'll do a bunch of crap in here, right? But then I go to sleep at fucking midnight. Like by the time I get inside, I take a shower and everything, get ready for bed, fucking get on a fucking another issue. Get on a phone for fucking 20 minutes before I go to sleep and fucking scroll through fucking Twitter to see what's going on. You know what I mean? That's not a good thing. And those are hard habits to break sometimes. They really
Super
are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we were talking about this last time. We're like, I'm going to put the phone on the other side of the fucking bedroom
Yeah.
or in another
I
room.
was saying that's what I used to do, right? I used to just put my phone, like charge my phone overnight, other side of the room. So I had to get up to turn off my alarm.
I did that once. The fucking alarm went off and it was beeping for like fucking half an hour.
Yeah.
In the other room, and I'm like, God damn, I'm just gonna bring the phone back right here, dude. It's just so much easier, right? But that's the thing. But that's hard to do sometimes. It's hard to change this sometimes when you basically program yourself to that way, and then it's hard to unprogram and
it's hard to break a habit.
100%.
That's all it is. It's hard to break a habit.
I'm hoping that I can get to that point where, like,
Small
I'm gonna have to. So here's what's gonna happen in the next few months. We're in May. My oldest daughter is going to go to school starting in September. School starts at 8.
You have to get up.
And guess who drives that way to work? Me. So I'm gonna have to get my ass up at probably 6:30 so I can eat, get her ready, get everything ready, pack up and go. Now it won't be every day. It'll be 3 days out of the week. But I might as well be set for the whole goddamn week at that point.
Yep.
You know? And so now I have to start phasing that in now so that by the time that time rolls around, I'm set. So hard. Like
It's
literally.
massively. I think dude, for me, I was just naturally born with it, like up early.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I always-
me and Paul was the same exact problem.
Bro, this been dude, when I went to high school, I was never on fucking time in
Same.
high school.
No.
Even though I graduated for high honors and everything, I skipped a
I mean,
after my senior year at Revis, they changed the curriculum. They changed the policies that if you miss more than 7 days,
yeah.
you can't make up the work. You know why? Because I missed 60 days in one class.
Oh my, 60
Yeah,
days?
the
Oh my
last 2
gosh.
periods of my senior year, and I made everything up that I missed. So I had A's at the end of the year for the classes.
Yeah. I had
Even though I was there for halftime.
That's
I had
crazy.
Paul's friend. Paul's friend paid me like a couple $100 back in high. Mind you, I'm in 7th, 8th grade. They were seniors. Paul's friend paid me a few $100 to do like a packet like this of just work, and he's like, "I need this to graduate." He's like, "I'll give you like $300. 7th, 8th grade, $300. I'm doing it." So I'm like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm learning this right now. How are you learning this 5 years
That's
later?"
another subject, bro. Just the fucking standards for school, bro.
Yeah, because I was in AP in high school. I was in AP classes, honor classes, the whole, like whatever all those classes, and I was like, I'm like, how are you learning this right now? I'm like, this is like basic arithmetic. I have this stuff.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
That was opposite. I barely passed school. Anything. Couldn't, dude. I failed like 99% of the stuff in school.
That's
I
like
failed.
our other brother.
But here's the thing.
It's like our other brother.
I failed
Yeah.
every class.
Yeah,
every
but
single.
here's the thing. Me and Paul never studied for anything.
Yeah, bro.
We
See,
didn't.
You naturally wake up in the morning. I was naturally just fucking smart.
Yeah, we never
Literally,
studied.
I went to school and I didn't need to study. I just had to listen.
Yeah.
And when I listened,
wish
I
I did.
learned
Yeah,
everything.
I would just read books in class, and then the teacher would
Yeah,
call.
dude.
The teacher would call and be like, "Marcin, since you would you like to join the class and answer this question?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I would answer it. And he's like, "Well, how'd you get to that?" I'm like, "Well, I just did this and that." And he's like, and like he didn't
That's
have
exactly
it.
what I had.
And they hated me because I knew the answer
Yeah,
because I
for
knew what
me,
to do.
I never answered, I never listened, never read, never did any of it.
Yeah.
Had zero interest in the school world, system, anything with it. Not my style at all.
See, I did. I liked like world history. We could talk history all day and night.
Yeah.
Dude. I could talk about it. But in general, when I was in school, bro, grade school, maybe I studied more. But high school, bro, I didn't study at all.
Me neither.
And it just came to me. Literally. It just,
And that's why we both dropped out of the same college at the same time.
at the same time frame, right?
Time frame. I was also 2 years in same college. And I
Do you know
dropped out.
why? Because we faced adversity when we went to college.
Yeah, we didn't know how to study.
We didn't study, so we didn't even know how.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I went to college. I got through the first 2 years, and I'm like, man, this is getting hard. But I still was keeping up with what I was doing in high school.
Yeah.
Not really studying. Third year rolled around, and I'm like, at this point, I'm not going to change my habit, and I feel like I'm just going to fail myself. If I really put my foot down and started studying and started doing it, maybe I would have
sure.
finished it, right? But then at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't even want to even do this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit behind a desk, and I was going for an engineer. I'm like, I didn't want to just draw shit and just sit behind a desk, bro. I like to work with my hands. I wanted to go do something like, physical work. And I was working on cars already at that point. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm just going to go work on cars. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Derek, do you ever get just like tired of being in the office and you just go on a roof and start?
I'm in the field all the time.
Yeah.
I'm in the field all the time. So it's like I'm in the office, I'm in the field, I'm with insurance companies, homeowners, nonstop. I'm all over. It's like the whole thing is like nobody in the business could leave and we fail. It's impossible. For me, the whole thing is today I said, you would fucking have to kill me to take me out of the business. That's the only way you would take me out of that business. I could sell, I could do the work, I could build it, I could talk with the customer, I could sign the contract. I just give those positions out to people.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it gets down to it, I'll still do it. I don't care. Like right now, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'll go out there, I'll sell the roof, I'll sign a contract, I'll do it. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is sitting in one desk and listening to one person talking about something boring. That's why I always sold people. I gave them money. I did other stuff for people to do all my stuff at high school.
Yeah.
I never did any of my work. Never.
Yeah, I like I said, that part came to me naturally, and it was just I didn't have to study for it, and that's why
The gift became a curse real quick.
100%. That's 100% true because in college you
we
needed
had-
to study too.
yeah, and
we
we
went to a good college. We went
Yeah.
to a high end college.
I mean,
Like we went to one of the top engineering colleges in the
Where'd
states.
you go?
IIT downtown.
And me and Paul had in the family the highest ACT scores too.
Yeah,
Didn't
dude.
study for any of it.
Yep.
Like
Dang.
It just came to us.
it was literally
Yeah.
literally me first, then Paul.
What did you get on that senior test at the end?
I don't know
What
what's
the hell
test.
senior test are you talking about?
What the
You're not talking about the ACT, are you?
ACT?
That was sophomore. That was junior.
The junior
Yeah.
year.
year. Yeah. I wish I could remember.
You got a 27. I
don't know.
always remember your score because I beat it. I got a
I
31. I got a 31.
I got a 14 because I put my name on the test.
Yeah,
I don't even
and that's
remember.
basically.
I know I wasn't good.
I
You know-
put
you know
my
what-
name on it. I went A B C D A B C D A B C D A B C D, and I gave her the paper. She was like, "That fast." It's like I don't care about it. I'll never do this.
Yeah, you know what's funny is, me and Paul scored the higher. The third person is my other brother Peter, who dropped out of high school. Basically, he got his GED at the end of the day. I think. My sisters, they both got like lower, like average score, like not, I don't know, 18s are like average
I think,
scores.
yeah.
They're the only- they're the
low
only-
20s.
They're the only two that finished college.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Peter didn't even go, and me and Paul dropped out.
All the women succeeded in college, all the men fucking failed in our family. So whatever, we'll see. We'll see what the future brings in terms of our kids and whatnot. I'm not gonna force my kids to go to college. If I see potential, there's like, let's say, one of the kids is gonna be like, I'm gonna be a lawyer. Yeah, bro, go to college.
I have a question for you guys, because I think we're gonna wrap up soon. But I have a question for you. Do you think it's easier for women to not go to college and become successful, or have a good job at least? Because
Yeah.
because you think
This is
about
a-
it, you think
Hold
about
on, this
it.
is a question to women.
Well, I know, but I don't.
Yeah, but like
Jesus
here's another
Christ, Paul,
thing.
I'm just
is
kind
like,
of throwing it out there.
I dropped out of college twice. I
Right.
tried going in the first time. I was like, I hate this. This is horrible. You know, took like a year break, went back, or no, 2-year break, went back, and I was like, no, 3-year break. Still, and I was like, this is horrible.
My break
Again.
turned into a permanent
Yeah,
break.
literally, and because I was going for nursing at the time, and I was just like, my nurses are badass. That shit's hard as hell.
Yeah,
but-
deal with the people and shit. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, dude, I can't do this. There's no way I'm gonna be able to go and help. It's just too sad. I can't do it, you know. But I was like, I can't do college. I can't learn this stuff. I dropped out, ended up getting the roofing license and getting my real estate license, and I was like, this is gonna be better.
I think women are massively underestimated
And that too, yeah.
in the power that they
I
have.
100% agree.
I agree with you.
Dude, women are so underestimated because
Because
There's a
right off the bat, they're underestimated.
yeah, 100%. And then there's these little-minded men that are weak as fuck with low test and are scared of women in the competition, and they're just bitches because a woman will outtake them. Women have so much fucking potential that nobody gives them the opportunity to go and strive full force at it, and that's what stops them and limits them. Dude, if you give a woman all the potential and everything that you can, she is gonna become unstoppable, unbeatable, and she is gonna be the baddest motherfucker in front of you. Woman can sell better than men. Woman can present better than men. Woman can run shit better than men.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing
long
is,
as they have
we
the
can
drive.
present it, and we have more anger, and we're more fearful. Women sell better than men.
Yeah. I think it's
100%.
I think it's even outside of sales, like even at my work, like we recently hired a couple women, right? And we had one other woman in the company before, and she was never in the office 'cause she was just sales, right? She would just be reaching out. So I never even saw her until like the company outing one like this year. And now we have two people in like that are in the office and stuff. And some of the guys, they're like watching their tongue and stuff. And it's like you can watching your tongue is one thing because it was all guys before, so like nobody really cared. You know, everybody said what they wanted to say. But then they didn't even want to approach and talk. I'm like, are you guys serious right now? I'm
scared,
like, yeah, literally, they got scared. And then and like they'd be like whispering because they don't like they were like tiptoeing because they don't want to say something that might be rude. I'm like, I mean, if you have to think if something's rude, you probably shouldn't even be saying it, right? I'm like, anything I say with 100% confidence. If somebody hears me and they take it the wrong way, that's their fault. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have. Go ahead.
I mean, with like running an office and stuff, like the way she does it on the girls, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Me and the guys would never do that.
I think women have a huge potential. Two things that in terms of like nothing against women. I love. If I didn't like women, I wouldn't be married. So that's
You'd be
that.
gay.
We'd be having a whole different conversation.
You wouldn't be here now.
Yeah, 100%. In terms of women, I feel like the one thing that men do better than women is just physical work. Men are designed to do more physical work than women. Yeah, like
No, but that's
bust
very
your
true.
fucking finger and shit like that.
Correct.
You hit it, you're like, oh fuck, well, then you're all right. Whatever,
Tell you, we're
right?
meatheads.
Bust your nose, then you're all right. The only thing that holds women down sometimes is if they have a family and they have kids.
Yeah.
They don't get that. They don't get to reach that same potential only
Correct.
because they have, kids to take care of. Adult. Not adults to take care. Fuck. I was about to say husbands to take care of.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of
but,
them,
like,
some of them do.
It's really good that you say that because, like, for me, I truly believe like the woman takes care of the kids, teaches them, feeds them, and all of that stuff, and guides them and stuff.
Yeah, I think that should be a major, job for women. I'm not trying to say the women are like not supposed to be out in the field or anything like that.
But
What
I
I'm
feel
saying
like
is she'd be a good mother, right?
way better than what I could do for the kids.
I agree.
Guaranteed.
I feel
Like,
the same
for
way
me-
about like my wife. Like I know she can be a better guidance for my kids and teach them better values because I
Way better.
teach them
Swear
values that
words.
maybe it wouldn't be as good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not in the right. If I was with myself and I had to, I would have no choice at that point. But I'm not, right?
Yeah.
And I don't plan on it anytime soon.
It's also
So I feel like that job is hard.
They have more care. Women have more care.
empathy.
Uh-huh.
Empathy. They got the empathy.
and that's
though.
a hard job.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking very hard.
100%. It's a very hard job. I understand. Like I have a physical, more of a physical, mental job, right? She has 100% mental job. Like it takes
Physical too.
physical too, but I would say more mental than physical only
Yeah.
because you got to deal with the screaming, with the yelling, with the fucking constant nagging, whatever it could be, and literally because that's what it is. And I'm talking about kids. I'm talking about kids.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about kids.
Just
So,
like giving you the sign.
so,
Nope.
so
I mean, I want to have kids. that's
that's
scary.
it's scary,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And
It's the next.
you lose a lot of your freedom as a woman, basically.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to stay at home with the kids, and you probably raise better people, but at a loss or a cost to yourself at the end of the day, right?
I mean,
So,
Think about it this way. I mean, like if you were raised by dad instead of mom, how
I'd
do you
be a
think?
dick face.
How do you think we'd be right now? Yeah, right. So,
well, I'd probably be single.
Yeah. The whole
I
thing
mean-
is like with people don't understand the value of like parents. You need both parents.
Oh,
The mom and
100%.
the dad, they go so well together in every single thing. You need that in the household because when the dad comes and it's like you didn't listen the whole day, dad's taking care of you right now. They know I'm fucked now. I'm getting my ass whooped. I'm getting beat. There's a consequence to it and every single thing.
Well, you can't beat your children is the first thing what they say, but disciplining
gotta
your
smack
children.
them. Yeah, discipline them.
Discipline your
Discipline
children.
is
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, discipline is different, and I think that they don't allow you
Do you
to
believe in spanking?
100%, dude. I got my ass beat, bro, when I was a kid,
right.
dude. I got my ass beat.
Metal part of the belt.
Bro.
We got beat.
No, we didn't get beat like that, bro. Relax.
We got
I
fucking
mean,
beat by a
he's
2x4.
kidding.
No,
I
we
never,
didn't
had,
get
I
beat
never,
like that.
okay. I never walked into school with a black eye. No,
We got
right?
our asses whooped, like our asses
Yeah,
whooped,
yeah,
with all
horrible,
kinds of
yeah.
shit, fucking cords, fucking sticks, whatever. It could be.
Whatever was wrong.
You messed
yeah.
up. You messed
fucked up. You
messed
fucked up. Yeah, you're gonna
You
get your
the
ass beat.
consequence.
You knew when you fucked up, and you had to wait until dad gets home.
Yeah, and you had to tell him.
Then you're like, because you fucked up, and dad's gonna eventually find out about it. So you might as well tell him now, and then you're gonna get your ass beat. I mean, I'm not talking about beating your kids. I'm talking about literal discipline. Like discipline is needed, and I feel like the rules or I don't know if it's the law is that you can't technically discipline your kids, right, with like a spanking or anything, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really know the full law. You can't beat your kids. That I know that's a law, right? But I think some discipline, like spanking in the butt or like pull on the ear or something like that, necessary. Otherwise, you have no control over your kids. They will not fucking respect you and listen to you for nothing if they don't fear you at least a little bit.
Yeah.
They gotta fear you at least a little bit. Like,
Maybe I just have PTSD from you being my older brother.
I mean, we beat your ass so many times, bro. So many.
2 older brothers, bro. It wasn't fun. No, it was a good time.
But two parents in a household with kids is a 100% need. When you have a lot of divorced parents, stuff like that, I feel like not all the time, but a lot of the kids don't turn out 100%.
It's a lower percentage for sure because there's not that much guidance.
Yeah, the guidance is missing for sure from both perspectives, right?
Mhm.
Because you can have a mom who shows you good guidance, but then you don't have a dad who shows you
Sometimes you need
what the bad guidance could potentially mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you just need that sometimes, like, okay, if
A man's
a masculine
Yeah,
input,
Energy.
right?
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then you get a bunch of
Like,
mamas.
dude, I always say is like, so I didn't have a father, but I had 4 of them. I was the youngest. I have 4 older brothers.
Yeah.
So I had 4 fathers.
Yeah,
It was fucking no matter if I was at school, if I got home, if I went to sleep or something, there was always one of my brothers fucking going at me about it. And it's like early on, I was like, dude, I hate this shit. They nonstop control me and every single thing. Now it's like, it's the best thing ever.
yeah.
Would you ever,
100%.
if you go back, would you have changed it? Absolutely
no.
not. Right.
Dude, it's so much better that way because, dude, it'd be so bad. Like, I'd be just such a bad person.
Yeah,
I
I mean, there's lessons along the way, right? And you need both perspectives.
Yep.
You literally need both perspectives to understand the way of the world. Like, you can't just see one side. If you see too much of one side, you become like that side, and that's not necessarily always a good thing.
Blindsided.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're just blindsided. It's
Yeah,
just one side.
100%. I mean, you become a Democrat. Yeah.
Not that all divorced parents are Democrats,
I'm joking.
but
It's just a fucking joke. People relax. Someone's gonna take this out of context.
yeah, for sure.
But but 2 parents in a household with kids is almost
Preferred.
necessary. It's almost necessary.
Yes, but I mean, sometimes it doesn't
Things don't work
happen.
out. Yeah, I
Right.
agree. And that's the thing is that, and then after
You should
that
see
though,
that shit before though. Like, shit's not good before the kids. It's not like the kids come and the
Yeah.
life's fucked up.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
You know?
You already know, and maybe you're like, damn, I shouldn't have probably had kids with this
Yeah.
person because there's already a mistake.
Unless it's
know?
unless it's like a tragedy, right? Tragedy is a whole different story,
Yeah,
though,
100%.
right?
Well, that's a different story. Yeah.
I guess if in law to God, I mean, I guess that's what you have a godfather for, right? Is to provide that guidance.
Yeah.
If it was your dad, but
In general, it just would be good if, especially nowadays, divorces are high and people split for stupid reasons. I think
60%.
it would be good if that number came down quite a
Yeah.
bit. It would help improve, I think, society in general. I think people would maybe get their bearings straight a little bit. I think there would be a change in perspective on a lot of things. So, I would hope that into the future, like we talked about those 13, 14-year-olds, they're different, right? Hopefully that continues on, that they think differently further into their life.
that trend continues.
And that trend continues for the younger generation, right? So
Yeah.
let's just hope for the best. And yeah, we'll see how things turn out. I mean, hopefully for you guys as well. Hopefully the business keeps growing. hopefully you guys keep grinding away at it and just improve and grow and make those bucks and pay your taxes.
And take that one good day for your wedding at least.
Oh yeah, the one day off.
Yeah, that's your one day off. Maybe two. Popravina.
Yeah, 2 days off.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
not next
100%,
Monday. We're gonna need it.
So I appreciate you guys coming on, talking.
you guys for having
We'll do
us.
this again for sure in the future. Talk about some different subjects. I wanted to ask you some other stuff, but ran out of time. This always happens.
Derek will have another business by that time.
Yeah,
he
dude,
comes back on.
100%.
So.
And maybe a better Lambo, right?
Yeah. Or a second one.
Yeah. Or a second
Hey,
one,
I
yeah.
can fit two cars in
Yeah,
the
you
shot.
can. Yeah. The
When are you
his
gonna buy
and one
his and
mine.
hers?
When
Yeah.
are you guys gonna buy a property and build a big house, dude? That should be the next step, right?
Nah, I don't want a big house.
You don't want a big house, right? That's the.
He wants a lot of land
yet.
though.
Yeah, if like what you have here is, dude, that's my style.
Good thing I bought this when I bought it. A lot of people wanted to buy this place when I bought it.
This right here, ranch style home, 5 acres. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Fuck a big house.
Yeah. I wouldn't want a really big house either, bro. Who's gonna clean that bitch?
Yeah, dude. And you know how much stuff you gotta get for it.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta fill
You
it.
gotta fill it. Yeah.
You gotta clean it. You gotta pay taxes on it, right? And then you're gonna have echoes in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Unless you're gonna have fucking 6 kids, you don't need a big house, dude.
Yeah.
So we 7 of us lived in a
And
4-bedroom house. Technically, it's a 3-bedroom house in the beginning. We added a 4th bedroom and then finished the basement.
me and my other brother had one room. My sisters had one room. Paul was the only one with his own room.
After some time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was 3 brothers in one room. Yeah.
I mean, in Poland, it's five kids in one room.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was a hard one. So yeah, appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you so
We'll do
much.
this again. And good luck to your businesses. Good luck to. Congratulations on your coming wedding.
Yes,
Hopefully you guys have a
congratulations.
fucking awesome day and enjoy it. And I'll see you guys there. I'll be there with my wife,
Thank you.
and we'll go from there. Actually, I wanted to ask you: you guys got anybody in particular that you would maybe mention that you think we should bring onto this podcast? You got anybody like that? See, that's a tough question to ask, but it's like I should ask it because I know you know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people myself, but it's like it's always good to hear somebody else's perspective, like who wants to talk about it.
There's a lot of good people.
Give us 3.
I can't name them.
You don't name them. That's
yeah,
okay.
I
that's
can't name them.
Yeah, that's
but
okay.
Yeah, I do have some really good people in my mind.
Yeah, you can tell us after.
Yeah, I just have
100%.
to. My thing is I never even like phone numbers. I never give them out. I always ask the person first.
Yeah,
Then I go.
agree.
in and I-
Agree.
No,
You don't want to stick
completely
somebody in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah. I'm
And
not
some
gonna
people
just-
don't want to say no.
Yeah.
No, it ruins business.
Yeah,
Bad.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
So, all
Yeah.
right.
That
Thank
one
you
no
guys so
turns
much.
into many no's.
Yeah.
Right, so-
Have a good
All
night.
right, thanks,
Thank you, everybody.
guys.
Have a good night. Bye.